He's saying mold. That's what he's saying. He's saying mold.
No, we're saying Mokole, because
Mold.
that's what we're talking about today.
Mold.
Why?
He's talking about the mold.
No, we're not.
See, Ryan came up to me today and said, "Hey, was this what the mold meant?" We're breaking the mold, he said.
What mold are we breaking, John?
I'm not old enough to go demented just yet.
It could be a menace
posted
deformity.
the mold in the. He posted the mold in the chat.
No, that is a mole.
The mold.
God damn it.
I can show you what he's talking about.
My brother in Christ, I think you're going insane. Oh, that mold,
What?
yes.
Yeah, like the black mold that's currently growing inside my house, releasing a neurotoxin, driving me insane.
That explains why you're completely incomprehensible today.
That's your skit for this episode. We're doing the Mokole today.
Yes, we're talking about dinosaurs, because they're cool.
Yeah, they put mold on my bread. I'll never forgive them for this.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm too hungover to deal with this, but here we are.
Yeah, he's hungover. Ryan has been lifting weights all damn day. He's so fucking swole right now, he could snap me over his knee like a twig.
Not swole, sore.
As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
And Eden is with us today for this episode.
Hello, Eden.
Hello.
Hello, our favorite Cyberdog is back.
Yes.
Yep, we had no plans for this. He just came in, and like WWE to WWF, if a wrestler wants to get into the ring, I say go ahead. Until we get too many, then nobody can follow the fight anymore. Right.
Yeah, but we do that anyway. So, Mokole.
The Were Crocodile,
They're
or
cool.
Were Dinosaur, or Were Dragon, or Were Komodo Dragon, or Were Gila Monster, or Were just about any reptile that's not a snake.
Yep.
That's what the Mokole are.
They're cool.
Where the coolest thing about them is their Sukid form. No, that's the name of their lupus form. The Archid is what I'm thinking about. Or the Archid form can look like anything with these guys. Because, behold, they've got all the fun memory powers and the power of imagination on their side. You guys seen Kung Fu Panda 4?
I have not. I heard it wasn't very good.
It wasn't.
Not too good.
But you remember at the end of the movie where the chameleon does that giant transformation sequence where she combines multiple masters into one weird, like, wyvern dragon monster at the end?
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, that's what the Mokole can look like. And really, it can look like anything. There's a huge block of mechanics in this book where you can take any bit and piece of a reptile and you can combine that for your Archid form. Though you want for mechanics to have a base for the reptile, but really you can just customize it like crazy. There are so many customization options with this breed. I mean, it's more than we can really talk about within one episode.
Well, yeah, but we're going to try nonetheless.
And, dog, I've read this book before, but on a second reading, this has affected me a little bit more on a second reading, considering that we've been going through not just Werewolf, but all the World of Darkness games, and there is a lot of sophistication with the Mokole. This book is smarter than I thought was the first time I read it. And I'm going to go out and say this is essential reading for Werewolf the Apocalypse, where the Mokole really do contextualize so much stuff with the World of Darkness. And it helps because this is the oldest faction. And unless you count the Demons of Demon the Fallen, this is the oldest group out there in canon.
Yeah, like one of they're quite literally Were dinosaurs. They are the memory of Mother Gaia, as they've been explained multiple times.
Exactly, and they've got the memory to back that up. Something I want to bring up right away. There's a unique mechanic that they have, the Mnésis, the memory of the planet. Eden, it wasn't you. I think it was Victor who I was talking about this with. The easiest explanation I have for this is there is a stand in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure called Underworld who literally shoves his hand into the planet and pulls memories of the planet out from the Earth and then reenacts them before your very eyes. Now, granted, it's not that powerful, but the Mokole can do that. By directly communing and meditating with Gaia, they can see the entire history of the planet depending on how many points they put into Mnésis as a background. So this group has been around for 60 million years. You have that much of an archive of information to go back and read with the Mokole. These guys literally know everything. You can get no more reliable of a narrator than the Mokole. I'm dead ass with you right now. This is one of the few factions within World of Darkness that tells you the truth straight up. No bullshit. Them, the Red Talons, and I think the Tremere book, the Tremere Dark Ages book, those were the most honest sources of information out there in terms of clan books, breed books, any sort of book. So you can imagine my excitement when I figured out that they could do that, and you can't get more reliable of a source of information than Gaia herself, because that's the memory unfiltered, no modification whatsoever.
Yep.
No, I am misinforming you a little bit. There is modification to it. The Wyrm. Now, no matter what Savage Age Werewolf tells you, that book is not canon. It never will be canon. They cannot go in and modify the memory of Gaia. That's impossible for the Mokole to do. The Wyrm, on the other hand, can edit that memory. So the Mnésis used to be a literal pocket realm within the dream, the near dreaming, the Umbra, whatever you want to call it, where the Mokole could step inside, and it literally looked like the Library of Alexandria. That's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Wyrm realized that he could get inside of that. So what happened is that the Mokole burnt down the realm, so to speak, but kept the power. So only the Mokole can access this memory now. It used to be anyone could see the Mnésis if they were in that realm. Now that's impossible. It's just a Mokole. Fun stuff, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we go. This book also has a weird framing device where, Eden, you're familiar with Mage the Ascension?
I am not.
Okay, if you read any of the Mage books, it's written like a third-person perspective novel, where you just can't be told information straight up with Mage the Ascension. It has to be told through dialogue. Clan Book Toreador did that. I hate that book. It's such a mess with Clan Book Toreador. I hate it there. But it works with the Mokole because the Mokole answer their own questions as it comes up in the lore. This is the one time I've seen it in all of these books where that kind of framing device actually works. So the entire history section is a dialogue between, I think it's 2 or 3 Mokole, a Glasswalker, and Mamu from the Red Talons tribe. And when I saw that Mamu was a part of this, I ended up clapping my big baby feet together in excitement because, oh my god, I love that character. When we talk about Rage Cross Australia, Kyle, you better bring up Mamu in that episode.
Okay. That I will. I will make a note of that. I will not.
Let me take a sip of this, and then I'll get right into history proper. Fucking dribbled some down my fucking chin. It got stuck in my beard. Alright. There we go. Today's drink of the day was coffee liquor.
Nice. I'm drinking water because I drank plenty last night and I do not want to drink anymore.
Alright, let's get into it. So, how many of you have played Chrono Trigger? Show of hands.
My brother in Christ were...
You need to broaden your horizons with these games.
I mean, I do have the SNES, but I do not have the fucking time commitment for an RPG.
Alright. There is a group in that game that are these proto-dinosaur lizard men. They're humanoids, have lizard features, and They are the very, very early civilization. When you go back into the prehistoric age in that game, all these people, all these humans are just Neanderthals trying to survive. It's the dragon, the lizard people and the dragon people that rule the world, have these super advanced civilizations that are subjugating and destroying the human race. I think, yeah, they're called the Reptites. That's what they're called. That's how the Mokole start. They say way back then, 60 million years ago, there were people on the planet. They weren't humans. They were Reptites. They were the Mokole Kinfolk, known formerly as the Dragon Kings, or just shorten it down to the Kings, who were these half-human, half-reptiles. I can pull up a picture of them right now if we wish. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe as well. Just give people a little bit of context.
Yeah. You were saying, Eden?
Oh, I'm just wondering, is this where we got lizard people from?
I think so.
Exactly. When you talk, when you have Infowars talking about the reptoids, this is who he's talking about.
Put it in the. Where'd you put it?
I need to find a way to put Infowars in a World Darkness game without coming off as completely deranged.
That's goddamn impossible. I will say that ahead of time. That is already impossible.
This is a game of conspiracy theories. It works perfectly. Yeah, there's the reptoids.
Yep. Studio. Oh, those do look cool though. Those look cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Delgo kind of sorta. Yeah, imagine that flash in a pan. I sent somebody through a memory hole. And that's what roamed the earth. And the Glasswalker goes, well, what about the fossil records? And he says, you believe that shit? I mean, you're believing scientists that are pulling up a rock and saying, this is what it was. This shows that there used to be humans or that this kind of species existed. Do you know how many dinosaurs are fake because archaeologists just slapped bones together and said that's a dinosaur?
I mean, that makes sense. They want to be famous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for posting that.
Hold up. What? Oh, the humans in the cities are free to take. I have 200 at my cairn.
Yes.
Government doesn't want you to know this, but humans in the cities are free to take. I have 200 humans at my cairn.
You just described the Black Furies.
Yes, free use humans.
Free penis.
It's free real estate.
Yeah. So you had the Dragon Kings. This was who was living around this time. And they detail that they were created by Gaia, not God. God didn't make them, Gaia did. And they lived in the world for years and years, and really, that's just the world that as Gaia intended. And you had Mokole around that time. Some of them got the changing seed, and they became kind of like how Orc society works in 40k. You're the biggest, you're the baddest, you're the strongest, you're the one with the magic powers. You get to rule. And that's how that ultimately started. They had their own version of Eve, too. It was a lady called Two Thumbs, because that's what she had.
Nice.
Took you a while to think of that name, right? And you had 7 different Mokole that were born from her, the biggest and baddest of them all being one Mokole Mimbe. Keep that name in mind. That guy's going to become pretty important once we start talking about Africa. And back then, there wasn't the arms race for changing breeds between Helios and Luna, so they both taught with Helios and Luna. They got their power from both. Luna gave them their rage, Helios gave them the awesome gifts, and life was perfect for a while, until the Wyrm decided it was time to launch a meteor, and almost destroyed the world. And with that came that massive planet-destroying explosion from the meteor that wiped out the Dragon Kings. That's why there's no fossil records. It's because the Wyrm blew up half the damn planet. And afterwards, you started having humans appear. That's when God started making man in the image of himself. And from that, you start getting the Mokole proper, where in order to reign in human society, Gaia made the Mokole and the Rokia to rein them in. Now, you might be wondering, why did you make the Rokia? And that's because the Rokia, from the get-go, were meant to be a plan B. In the event the Mokole failed, the Rokia were supposed to come in and take over. And the Mokole are the chosen ones in this society because they have the Mnésis. They have all this reference, this millions of years of information that they can call upon. So what do you start getting stories of? I'm glad you asked. Stuff like Prometheus. That's what they try to be with the humans. The Mokole try going into human society and say that we know everything. We have access to magic. We have access to metallurgy. We know how to make fire. We know how to make buildings. Just ally yourselves with us, and we will make you kings. And some humans agreed, but there was another group that got in the way of that. Would you like to take a wild guess as to who that is? Who else was bigger on this time?
Not humans, right?
He was human, but he's not anymore.
Oh. Vampires, I imagine.
Cain. Yes, exactly. Because Cain comes in with the first city, and he does it all by himself without the information of the Mokole, and pulls the Kinfolk away from the Mokole, and they start living in the first city. And now we got a problem. We got a big damn problem because my internet just went out for a minute. Yeah, we got a problem with Cain at the moment. Because the Mokole know who Cain is. I mean, after all, the memory of Gaia, what do they not know? They know this is a man that couldn't handle being inferior to his brother Abel. So he destroyed his own ideal self in order to destroy his own standard before he dies. The Mokole don't want humanity listening to that man. And this begins a ongoing blood feud that, to this day, is not resolved, of Mokole fighting the vampires. Yep, you heard that right. This book is directly tied in with vampire lore.
That's cool as shit.
And yeah, they bring them up, they call them bloodsuckers in this book, but say that the biggest thing that has gotten in their way of trying to set humans on the straight and narrow has not been the Wyrm, but it's been vampires that have been getting in the way. And you have these guys trying and failing to set humanity on the straight and narrow, but Cain, Enoch, and all the other antediluvians keep driving humanity down the dark road, and it's ultimately impossible to try to rectify humanity. So they need some help, right? Gaia responds by creating the Korax. The Korax come over, start helping the Mokole, but still it's not enough. So what comes next? The girl, and then it's on the tip of my tongue. I think the Bastet came next, according to Mokole. And when that didn't work, then the werewolves were made. And the Mokole say that there were two changing breeds that were mistakes when they were made. The Geru being the first one, and then Noisha being the second. These were two changing breeds that shouldn't have been made. And here's the thing. They start noticing that there's a little issue with Gaia's plan. After all, the Mokole were the chosen ones. Why isn't Gaia giving them better abilities? She's making other changing breeds to do the job for them when the Mokole can't cut it. Why is there a point to making the girl? And if the point is try to rein in and rule over humanity, why did you make a creature designed to kill like the Geru did? Something's not making sense here, right?
Yes.
And it takes the Impergium and the War of Rage for the Mokole to realize that Gaia, your goddess that made you, has well and truly turned her back on you. Here's the fun thing. They go with the story in this that was the same in the Naga book, where it was their disagreement with the girl over the girl not teaching them necromancy that started the War of Rage. The Mokole are looking at the Geru and seeing that they were the very clear aggressor in the war. They I'm going in now, aren't I?
Yeah, you're roboting a little bit. Just keep it rolling. So Solid Garrow's the aggressor.
You know, Tail? Yeah. He's typing something.
Yep. What's up, bro?
Oh, don't worry about that. That's for later.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. So you've got the girl who are the clear innocent victim here, and the werewolves who are the clear aggressor in the War of Rage. And the Mokolé immediately step in and try to save the girl from dying a brutal death at the hands of the werewolves. How did the werewolves reply? War of Rage. It's time to pull away the rulership of the Mokolé. Yeah, the Mokolé used to rule the world, by the way. Every other changing breed would listen to what the Mokolé had to say, not the Guru. And the fera breeds were unified under the rulership of the Mokolé. That changed with the War of Rage, when the Guru almost drove the Mokolé to extinction. Beautiful, right? And I think the Mokolé know more than the Guru do, considering that they had the advanced civilization and had the Mnésis, and know a little thing or two more than the Guru do because of the Mnésis, of the Mnésis. So, behold, it's that Cain and Abel story all over again. The Guru can't rise up to the ideal stuff of the Mokolé, so they're the Abel to the Guru's Cain. You're beginning to see how history's beginning to repeat on itself. And they're looking at Gaia, who is completely okay with this. As we know from the Silverfangs episode, Gaia was A-okay with the Impergium, and did nothing to intervene with the War of Rage. That's when the Mokolé begin to realize, our goddess has forsaken us. There's nothing we can do now. We have lost our job as the Chosen Ones, and Gaia is not the woman that we remember her to be. Instead, she's turned into this vengeful deity that wants to see humanity and prosperity destroyed instead of preserved. So,
okay, where do you go from there?
You remember? Yep, you remember that I brought up before in a previous episode that Gaia is not the innocent victim as she portrays herself.
She's not the true good of the world.
No, she is a Luddite that wants to see humanity subjugated or destroyed in favor of her changing breeds. She wants to return the world back to the way it was in terms of the Dragon King's rule, without humanity in the picture, but with werewolves in that position instead of the Mokolé. So what are you supposed to do after that? And top it all off, Gaia, over the course of years and years, falls silent. You can no longer commune with Gaia herself, and she still has an avatar, because Eden, you read Rage Across the Heavens. She still has a spirit avatar, but it's only the one now, and you have to go out and seek her. You used to have open communication with Gaia, now you don't have that anymore. And good luck trying to get Lilith or Enoya on the phone.
Right.
Where you can't really call Enoya, considering that her being the ground beneath you, you can't really have an intelligent conversation with that. And Lilith, if Cain can't find her, how can you? And this is where we get into the sophistication with the Mokolé. They're able, but they're still alive. So, what do you do after your goddess turns your back on you? How are you supposed to live after that? And
prove her wrong.
They still have Mnésis.
One day at a time.
One. They end up doing just what you said, Ryan, where they say that we just need to wait this out. They know the threat of the vampires, that humanity is just going to listen to the children of Cain and run themselves into the ground. And with the Wyrm worm's a threat. The werewolves have been handling the Wyrm, but they're looking at the Wyrm and saying that even if we were to fight the Antediluvians and kill them all, there's still the threat of the Wyrm, and the Wyrm can never be fully destroyed. So the apocalypse is going to happen. The Mokolé have accepted that. There's no way you can actually stop the apocalypse from happening. So instead, what they're going to do is that they're going to go all in on one thing, the Mnésis. The Mokole's mission is to see the world and record everything. They need to see everything that's going to happen and memorize it and record it, either through the plant's eyes or through their eyes. They need to save and preserve as much as they can, because when the apocalypse happens, they need to survive that and then use that memory to try to rebuild like the time of the kings. They need to be Prometheus all over again when the threat of the Garou and the vampires is finally gone. That's what they need to be. And that's your mission statement with the Mokole. Survive so that one day you can rebuild.
Yep.
But then again, how practical of an idea is this? I mean, you're looking, as we're recording this, the 2024 elections coming up, and both sides are waiting for the other one to fail in hopes of rebuilding in the other one's absence. But then again, how practical of an idea is that? Because once the other side's gone, when are they going to come back? I mean, if you want to build the world you want to live in, you can't just wait for stuff to happen. You have to go out there and actually change the world as you want it. You have to go out and do something. You can't keep your fingers crossed that somebody's going to come in and solve all of your problems.
Be the change you wish to see in the world.
And that's an issue I have with the Mokole, but there are two groups of the Mokole that do something about that. And we'll get into them in a minute when we talk about streams. Now, I might be wondering, have the Mokole done anything ever since their fall from the position of the kings? Yes, there is a little bit of history. You want to talk about Egypt again?
Boy, do I ever. The Silent Striders are there.
Yep. Where, as we talked about with the Silent Strider episode, the Silent Striders were the one tribe that formally apologized for the War of Rage. And they formed a little pact with the Mokole. They fully apologized for their war crimes, and now the two will die for each other. They'll be back to back with each other against the forces of the Wyrm, and they will gladly die in each other's arms in that fight.
Once again, based Silent Striders being based.
There is a brothership between these two that you can't find with another changing breed. Not even the Bonars and Ratkin, not even the Shallords and Koraks have that kind of relationship. And same thing with the Actina, because the Actina are your buddy-buddy with every breed, but they're still not as close as they are with the Silent Striders and Mokole. Now, let's see. You remember the Egypt story, right? How did it go down?
Is this
Many
before
things.
or after Set took power?
Established Set as a villain for a minute.
So Set had slaughtered Horus and banished, I believe, Isis from Egypt in order to vie for the throne. And take power of Egypt himself. And under his leadership started the blood cult that would later be known as the Setites, or the followers of Set, a group of vampires following in Set's footsteps. And the kingdom was ruled with absolute tyranny until, I believe it was Isis who had approached the Silent Striders and asked them for assistance in overthrowing Set and restoring Horus in order to destroy him. Or in order to destroy Set, that is.
And there was one group that just couldn't wait for that to happen. The Mokole jumped the gun. They couldn't wait for Isis to raise up an army proper with her mummy magic and all the stuff with Mummy the Resurrection, the Silent Striders, the Puka, the Bubasti, who ultimately didn't do anything. So they took matters into their own hands and attacked Set by themselves. And that fight ended in colossal disaster, as you can imagine, where they had a leader, Sobek, the Nile River crocodile god.
Yes.
That's who they sent in. And the fate of him and his men, every single Mokole that participated in that fight was slaughtered, and Sobek himself was grabbed and embraced by Set.
That's
wonderful.
Fucking terrifying.
But here's the thing. Thanks to their pact with Helios, That changed the stick. Set had no control over Sobek. Instead, Sobek, upon becoming a vampire, immediately went into a frenzy that never stopped. And Set's response to this was, "Get this disgusting beast out of my house." They threw Sobek out of his temple, where Sobek just rampaged out in the middle of the desert until the sun rose and, scorched his body. You don't have to cry for Sobek. He's fine. He died. He died the best possible way from that circumstance.
They should have just went with the Silenced Riders.
So that's a good thing, because we know from that you have the abominations where it's changing breeds that are turned into vampires. That's impossible with the Mokole, thanks to that pact that they made with Helios. So good. On top of that, there's other freaky creatures you can get with the Mokole, such as the Innocents. Where can a Mokole make a Metis? The answer is no, they can't do that. Upon that egg hatching, the baby immediately dies. But
same thing with the girl,
some
really.
wormish nonsense. Yep, some nonsense with the worm. That baby soul goes into the Shadowlands and becomes a specter out in the Shadowlands. And that specter is known as an Innocent. So thank you for making more work for the Grim Legion. I'm sure they appreciate that.
Look, times are desperate.
As if the race, as if rates didn't have it hard enough.
They're always going to.
Also, you might be wondering, how about the slave trade? Let's talk about the slave trade. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reptiles in Africa. Were they involved in it? And the answer is yes. The Mokole willingly sold themselves into slavery so they could infiltrate the slave trade and try to destroy it from the inside.
All
Now,
right.
you might be looking at the Mokole, Kyle, and you might be thinking, why are none of these tribes, aka streams, in the Americas? That's because they're all part of the Mokole Membe. Aha, remember they came up? That's the Mokole of Africa. They infiltrated the slave trade and willingly shipped themselves over to South America and North America. Now, hold on a minute. As we discussed with the Actina episode, there were Mokole in South America and America before the Shadowlords appeared. So what does that imply? There was a fifth stream that the Shadowlords killed off.
That the Shadowlords killed
Great,
off.
right? Yeah, the Shadowlords killed off an entire stream of Mokole in the War of Rage. The War of Rage Part 2.
Can the fucking
Yeah,
Shadowlords do goddamn anything right?
That entire tribe can eat a dick, dude.
Yeah, they fucking can. They suck.
Fuck them.
Because I noticed, I was reading that story, I was thinking, hey, there's something missing here. There's something missing, but something that doesn't make sense here. So to fill that void, the Mokole Membe took those kinfolk, made them their own, and behold, now it's the largest possible stream tribe of Mokole in the world. So don't cry too much for them. One man's loss is another man's gain. But at the same time, we probably could have used those memories. I mean, there's a lot of Eldritch lore within South America that the Actina would love to get their hands on again.
More than likely,
Yeah,
they probably already have it, but they just haven't spread it to the rest of the Actina.
Get to summon an Elder God with the blood pits.
Oh, so you want to invite Gehenna then?
Yeah, just imagine that. Just a giant blood monster alien coming out of this giant sacrifice pit with the Actina.
I was up here just enjoying my drink, having me a great day, and then all of a sudden a giant creature made out of flesh and blood appears out of South America and starts killing everything it looks at. This was your fucking fault.
We found the Necronomicon and read it out loud.
For all the reading you blokes do, you're fucking stupid.
I'm one devil. You summon another devil from another dimension. And really that's it in terms of history. Because the Mokole are... No, hold on a minute. I am forgetting something. The War of Shame. Now, you might be thinking, you remember that episode we did with Naga? We talked about the Dragon Kings and that. Whatever happened to them?
More than likely, they're dead.
You remember the War of Shame, right? The Kuei Jin, back when they were known as the Wan Xian, were actually good guys. They partnered with the Mokole. They had an open relationship. These Cathayan vampires worked hand in hand against the Kindred with them. Yet the Mokole were fighting against the Ravnos with the Wan Xian. Until the Yama Kings took full control over them, corrupted them, turned them into the Kuei Jin. The Kuei Jin started whispering in the ears of their fair breed friends, corrupting them to the Wyrm, and starting the War of Shame.
Oof.
And the Mokole used to have a stranglehold over Asia. They controlled the entirety of China. And that was destroyed in a matter of years by the Kuei Jin. Kuei Jin took it all away.
Good old Kuei Jin being bastards.
And now it's reversed, where now you have to partner up with the Ravnos to take on the Kuei Jin. Else you're going to die a full death at the hands of the Cathayan vampire. Because there's a shitload of Kuei Jin that we still haven't discovered, dude. We don't know how many Kuei Jin there are in the world. It's part of the horror with the Kuei Jin. And now the Dragon Kings, they're still around, but their rulership doesn't really mean shit anymore, dude, because of just how much territory and how much influence they lost because of the War of Shame. Where, Vita La Vida plays in the background.
Well,
You really did used to rule all of it. You really did used to have China in the palm of your hand. Now it's all gone.
Yeah.
But you might be wondering, well, are they just sitting around licking their wounds? No. The Emerald Courts in Asia, in East Asia, are ruled by the Dragon Kings. They take the position of something along the lines of Ventru there, where they said, we've lost the war. There's no way we can recover. But as long as we're still around, we're going to assist you. We're going to assist you the best we can, and try to help organize your operations against the Kuei Jin and the Wyrm. If you insist on fighting, okay, we'll do the best we can as commanders, not soldiers. Where, I guess it's admirable, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying at least.
And that's it with history. So yeah, pretty brief history.
I mean, they were kind of hiding out, just remembering stuff, taking note of everything.
Yeah, part of me wanted to play that dumb song, Try Everything from Zootopia, because that really is just what the Mokole are doing.
Well, I mean, those that forget history are doomed to repeat it, and the Mokole are just making sure it doesn't repeat itself.
And that's your anti-nihilist mission statement. The world's going to end, so do everything you can while you still can do it. It's the opposite of that Smiling Friends episode that we like much. That
nothing matters because we're all going to die someday. Hey, no, please don't get me, please don't get me.
Ashes from ashes. You're made from ashes. Ashes to ashes you will return. So use that as a reason to do as much as you can on the planet while you are still alive. Don't use that as an excuse to curl up and die. Use that as an excuse to live life the best you can, because one day you're going to die. Do what you can while you're still alive.
Yep.
That's the point with the Mokole.
It reminds me of that meme of like the skeleton sitting on a park bench, and it says nihilists doing fuck all with their lives because the sun's going to explode in 3 billion years.
It's also why, with Warhammer 40k, why I like Caiaphas Cain and those books so much. Because it's a guy who's a nihilist, who says nothing in this world matters, and he's stuck as a commissar in a job that he doesn't want to do, but he can't quit either. So he's just doing the best he can in a situation that he has no control over, and he's able to find happiness in his men that way. Jean-Paul Sartre, I cannot stand that guy's philosophy. I think Sartre is full of shit, and that guy's ideas are genuinely harmful. There's a reason why no philosopher out there has a nice thing to say about Sartre. It's not that hell is other people, it's salvation is other people. And the Mokole say so much with so little text in this book. It's so great. This is why I say this book is essential reading.
Yep.
Where that really is the antithesis of, not the antithesis. That really is just the thesis of World of Darkness.
Yep.
With,
Despite
you know,
everything,
do what you
persist.
Yeah, you will die one day. Therefore, live. Live while you're still able to live.
Yes.
And that's why I love classic World of Darkness so much, and why you will never get me to back up Chronicles of Darkness.
Yeah, it's like how I described when we were talking about Werewolf 5th edition, like, and the book said, "Oh, this is a very punk rock sort of environment." I'm like, not really. This is more doom metal than doom metal or power metal than it is punk rock, because this is the world is ending and everybody you love is dying, but you need to keep going.
Yes, it's There's one moment in Nier Automata that it's a quote that's always going to be in the back of my mind, where it's even if we fought because we believed we could overcome someday, and the belief is what mattered. Even if it's going to result in failure, we still need to do it because this is the world that we try to save. Even if you're going to fail, you still have to do it.
The idea is not necessarily fighting for a better tomorrow. It's fighting to make sure there is a tomorrow.
Exactly. And this is why I will always stand beside this as a story, because I believe in Old World of Darkness, this kind of story.
Yes. It is grimdark with a touch of light in it.
Mm-hmm. Which is also why I like Changing to Dreaming so much.
Yes.
You will...
Well, Changeling, you are the light of the world. You have to be.
You will never get me to back Changing the Lost. You will never get me to back that.
Yep.
Dog, I fucking hate Changing the Lost, dude.
I didn't read.
Name
I thought
three
the New World
things.
of Darkness was kind of good with some of their settings. I like the Monty Cook version,
Why do you,
the apocalyptic US.
why do you hate it?
I mean, Changing to Dreaming, it's this ultimate anti-nihilist story where you're screwed, but you can at least make the lives better for people around you. Changing the Lost, you're the evil kind of fairy. Do what you can to screw over your fellow man.
Oh, okay.
That's what that is. And comparing that to Dreaming, that's why I just fucking hate the Changing the Lost.
Lost is a very defeatist attitude towards the World of Darkness. No. Same thing with the Stargazers.
Yeah, because Chronicles of Darkness, you just missed the point of so much of what made Old World of Darkness good. From Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Forsaken, I think Mage the Ascension, and Mage the Awakening is the only thing that kind of reflected Old World. And then Geist the Sin Eaters is fine. It's fine. It's nothing I'm going to rush towards to play anytime soon, but Geist is fine.
Yep. So, what else have we?
Let's see. We could talk about streams.
Yes, because there's a lot of them.
We have 4 kinds of reptile, and each one has their own auspice, and each one has their own subgroups, and each one has their own rituals, and each one has their own gifts. And each one has their own backgrounds, and each one has their own mutations and abilities and own forms. And it's so mechanically dense that we cannot talk about this within the span of 2 hours. Because,
this is where we say,
God.
Yeah, just looking at the gifts page, which is going to be my responsibility for tonight, just putting this up on screen for a brief minute. You have the common Mokole gifts, ranks 1 through 5, and then you have all of the other streams. And then you also have the fucking Gumagan, the Makara, the Mokole Membe, the Mokole Membe, and the Shonglong. There's a fucking lot.
There's your character creation chart, by the way.
Concept.
Look at all the shit you need to do.
Solar Auspice. Fucking Nature and Demeanor. That's all pretty standard. Attributes, abilities, advantages, finishing touches. It looks pretty standard, but it is very, very dense. Because
the streams have... all of them have individual auspices. And then there's the Varna mechanic. And, I thought the Ratkin were complicated. I thought the Bastet were complicated. This is worse. Because I think I know why the Mokole are the least played fera breed. It's because of how much work you have to put in to make one Mokole.
But if you manage to pull it off, you are one of the strongest people in your Pharaoh party.
Yeah, you make this character with all these numbers that's going to end combat in two turns. Did you see Primal at all?
As in Far Cry?
No, Gandhi Tartakovsky's series Primal.
I did not know.
That series is gory as hell. He could not wait to make that series because there was a ton of blood and carnage in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right, Eden?
I've seen some episodes.
Yeah. Where you remember like all the different fights with Fang and Spear in it. Keep that show in mind when you play a Mokole, because that really is what it looks like when you go into your war form and you just tear house with a Mokole.
Wasn't there an episode where there was like this smaller dinosaur that was slaughtering all the other ones in the middle of the woods?
Yeah, the Night Stalker.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, is that like the giant red T-Rexes in the first episode? Fang, who's the blue dinosaur for most of the series, the Night Stalker in the 7th episode. There are many ways you can build a Mokole. No two Mokole will ever play the same mechanically. There are so many things you can do with this. There's so many things you can do. It's so creative what you can play as with these guys, but we really just don't have the time to go into detail with it. All right.
So, but we've established the fact that there's a fucking lot you got to put into it.
Such as Ryan, would you like to go over all the different kinds of Mokole you can have? Where, that page I sent you with all the other, all the Arcade stuff. Pick 5 of those. I do not expect you to read all of those.
If you do you mind sending me the ones that you do read, just so I can like have it up on screen?
Well, copy these images and send them to your way.
Please do.
Let's see. We're gonna start with my favorite, which is the Dragon Stegosaurus.
Nice.
They get tail blades and spikes.
Oh, that's fucking tight.
They can attack with a tail lash for strength +2 damage aggravated. That's going to be the very last one in the order.
You get to see a little picture of what that tail looks like in this little snapshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking look at all these. This is crazy.
On top of that, keep in mind with this form, you're 15 feet tall when you enter this form.
Yeah, you're literally a dinosaur.
Yeah.
See.
Then there's the Salamander with their regeneration. I fucking love regeneration, just in general. Where is it? Right here. The Mokole may spend a point of permanent gnosis to regrow a lost body part over a long period of time. At least several months, possible longer.
That should be a Garo gift, I feel like, given how many times we've had our limbs cut off.
True.
Well, you have an Archmage with you in that game.
Yeah, but we can't keep using her like that. She's more than just like, bring back my limbs.
Well, there is Bacchus as well, which is very nice.
Yes.
The process is extremely painful. So much so that living as a cripple is often preferable. The storyteller will have final say on whether a body part can regrow, how long it will take, and any special care required, such as healing baths, food, rest, etc.
You remember in Dragon Ball Z when Raditz shot Piccolo's shoulder and destroyed his arm, and then Piccolo rips it off and then grows a new one?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
Good lord.
You'll love it.
The next one would be, it's same page. It's the poison sacs for the snake/Gila. Poison, in my opinion, is pretty great. You may inject venom on bite attacks. It deals 2 health levels of aggravated damage in addition to the bite damage. This can be purchased more than once, reflecting a more potent venom, adding a health level to the damage inflicted each time. It's claimed that Naga are immune to this venom, and that some vampires actually benefit from it. This truth is unknown. The Mokole have chose to specify that sacs are located elsewhere other than their mouth, and may dip their claws into them instead of biting to inject the venom.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool too.
For all of our European listeners who don't know what a Gila monster is, we are posting one in the chat right now. Why is this picture 18.53 megabytes?
Why
Because
not?
it's probably fucking massive.
Yeah, there you go. There's your massive Gila monster.
Yeah, that's very high res. This is some Nat Geo shit. It's even taking a minute to load on my system.
Click it and then zoom in on it and cut all the individual scales.
Yeah, you get this is way too high resolution, but yes, this lad right here, this unit, this rock-like beast.
It's
You
a
get to squeeze
great
'em.
picture though.
You get to go to Arizona and New Mexico to find these guys.
Aren't they poisonous or something?
Yes, very poisonous.
Oh.
Poisonous
Don't
or
let it bite
venomous?
you. Yep. Oh yeah. You get me with that fucking diction. Well,
Venomous
I'm
is if
assuming it
bites
could.
you. Poisonous
Well,
is
it
if
could.
you touch it.
Well, it could also be poisonous because I don't think you can just eat this thing raw.
No, I don't think
Gotta
so.
No. Let's see. What else do these guys got, Brian?
2 more, right?
Yes.
I feel kind of bad because I'm choosing all the snake ones, but they're the ones that stood out the most.
But they're cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like
the snakes are cool. I found one in my backyard not that long ago.
they've got constricted coils, which is strength plus 3, they plus 3 dice immobilize maneuver. The captured foe may be crushed in the Mokole's coils for 1 unsoakable health level of damage per turn, which is just great.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, you get to be smashed.
Uh,
I love being constricted. Did you guys ever see the video of the street performer who was performing with the snake and then wrapped it around his neck like then the snake started constricting him?
No.
I think I wrapped my scarf wrong.
Dumb ways to
Yes.
die. So many dumb ways to die.
That's why it's called a constrictor. It's constricting you. What's
constructed.
I remember I heard a story about one time that a woman had like a giant fucking snake that she kept as a pet, and she would let the snake sleep in the bed with her, and the snake would
Yeah.
always wrap itself around her. And she told that to her vet one time when she took the snake in for a checkup. The vet said, "Don't do that anymore." She's like, "Why?" She's like, "Because the snake is trying to measure you to see if it can eat you."
One day I will surpass my master. You get death by vor. Very spiritual. See, what's the last power, Ryan?
It's gonna have to be the hard skull from the Pachycephalosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
You
paleontologist came up with this shit.
Yeah, right. You gain 3 extra dice to soak damage to the head, and 3 extra dice of damage to headbutt attacks. And it's not. You can't use it with horns.
You get to be Cranidos from Pokemon.
Yeah.
See, what kind of dinosaur is he based off of again? What was the name of that dinosaur?
Probably the Pachycephalosaurus.
Pat. Nah, I see it. Let's get a picture of what this thing looks like. Yeah, there it is.
Patchy
That's a
dinosaur.
hard head. All right. See,
What was that?
when somebody calls you hard-headed, just think about this picture.
Looks like he's wearing a helmet.
Yeah,
He looks like
that's a skull.
he looks like fucking Tom and Jerry when he like accidentally blows off his head fur with the fucking shotgun, and he's just got like a bald patch. It's what he fucking looks like. It looks like it was from the early 2000s movie Dinosaurs.
And they evolved specifically to hit at trees, knock down the fruit.
Anyone else got the sudden urge to go play Ark Survival?
Exactly.
This is a Power World monster. Are you kidding me?
See all these different fun. Are there any like fun dinosaur games out there you can play?
Just Ark Survival, I think. Well, that and Turok.
Yeah. There you go.
Like, of all the N64 shooters, like, I played GoldenEye. I haven't gotten to Perfect Dark yet. But of the ones that I've played, Turok is the most mechanically sound despite the jank controller. So
There's that one
What's up?
DS dinosaur game.
Oh, yeah, you are right about that.
That I don't recall.
Depending on how loose you want to be with dinosaur game, Warcraft 3 could also count.
If you want to play a dinosaur game, go play what is it called? Tomb of Annihilation.
Tomb of Annihilation. There you go. Yeah, well, that's you fighting the dinosaurs.
Same in Turok, but you know.
There's somebody out there make a dinosaur game where you get to play and customize your own dinosaur.
That would be kind of tight, not gonna lie. Or at least
Yeah,
let you ride a dinosaur in Turok.
It's called
Evo
Lost
Search for
Fighters.
Eden. That game exists. Evo Search for Eden, that exists.
All
But that wasn't. That's a yield in SNES game made by Square. I don't think that game ever got re-released.
More than likely it did not, but you never know.
No. And now we can talk about the streams.
Yes, streams. There's a lot of them.
We've got 4 different ones. Each one has their own list of auspices. We will begin with the ones that do not have auspices based off of seasons. We will go off of the ones that have auspices based off of the sun and the positioning of the sun. Let's see. Now, where in the world can I find a crocodile?
They're in North America, they're in South America, they're in Asia, they're in Africa, they're in Australia. They're all over the
Australia,
goddamn.
you just said it. You just said the magic word, Australia.
They're all over the goddamn place.
Yep. So we get to talk about the Gumagon, who are the Mokole of Australia. Now, you might be wondering, what have they been doing here all this time? We get a proud Aboriginal man with a lizard on his chest.
He looked kind of neat.
I like the artwork in this book, and
It's very gritty.
the Gumagon are the hardest to find because they don't like being in the material plane. They like being in the Umbra, specifically the Deep Umbra, because that's where all the fun spiritual battles are happening. Now, I might be wondering, why are you spending so much time in the Umbra? And that's because if you read Rage Across Australia, the Dreamtime, the Umbra of Australia, is a shithole now. You need as many hands as possible to help fight against that. And same story we had with history. The Gumagon were living just fine on their own until the vampires came, with colonization and the British Empire. If I am looking at Rage Across Australia right, I'm guessing the faction they were fighting would be the Sabbat. That's just me making an educated guess. And they spent so much time fighting the vampires, it exhausted their numbers just in time for the Black Spiral Dancers to plant the body of the dead Red Talons, starting the War of Tears and the extinction of the Bunyip.
God damn it, Black Spiral Dancer's fucking up everything again.
Yep, you got schooled. You just got pranked and trolled epically, Red Talons, you idiots. And while that rage was going on, Wormbaiter, in all of his wisdom, killed Mokole in his rampage to chase down the Bunyip, because the Mokole were trying to defend the Bunyip. So the Mokole pretend to be dead, and then once Wormbaiter finally stops the war, they come out of the Umbra. And his son, Mamu, is the one that mulls things over and chills things over with Mokole. Now they're beginning to work together again. These Mokole the Gumagon work hand in hand with the Ictina and the Red Talons to try to prevent Australia from becoming even worse. And clearly they're not doing enough, because Australia looks like a place that I would never want to immigrate to, even if they had an open border.
Aren't they yet
Yay.
another country that stopped nuclear power to start strip mining more places?
Yeah, they also had a bishop get stabbed in in the middle of one of his services, and then they arrested the Christians who rioted in response to that bishop being stabbed.
What the fuck is Australia?
Yeah, the worst fucking country you could live in, dude. I'd rather live in Canada.
Pfft, no, Canada will euthanize you for being dumb.
Let's see, if we ever get monetized, we'll use that money
Time
to
to
raise a
Canada.
fund for Gary to escape Australia.
Yes. And let him go to
Yes.
New Zealand instead.
Yeah, the country where you get absolutely nothing.
Well, at least
You
it's
wanna talk
pretty
about the
there.
You want to talk about you will have nothing and you'll be happy. New Zealand's fucking living that right now.
Are they?
Yeah, that country sucks, dude. It's so authoritarian.
Yep, they just recently confiscated the guns a few years ago.
Is that
Oh, fuck.
exactly? You can't own anything in New Zealand.
All right, we're gonna do the free Gary fund. We're gonna start that up.
Yeah, free Gary. Save
Hashtag
Gary.
free Gary.
Let's talk about the Mokole Mimbe.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think we can post this picture because it's an African tribal woman with her tits hanging out.
Close enough.
Alright. So we're just going to keep that one off to the side. This the Mokole Mimbe, the Mokole of Africa and South America and North America, thanks to the history that we talked about before. And these guys are the militants. They are out kicking ass in the street. These guys are taking a more active nihilist approach, saying, we've got the vampires, we've got the Wyrm, they're trying to destroy the world, not without us putting up a fight. They're out in the street, they know that they're all probably going to die, but damn it, they're going to go down standing up. That's what the Mokole Mimbe do. And these are the guys that I like the most out of all the Mokole. Because, damn it, that's not a badass way to go.
Yeah.
Sugar, we're going down swinging intensifies in the background. And you might be wondering, Mokole in Africa. What part of Africa? Well, we've got Nigeria, Niger, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Angola, Mozambique, Tanzania, Uganda. So if you want to reenact the events of who killed Captain Alex, you can do so with Mokole.
Sick.
Yeah,
The greatest action film ever created.
The action in that movie really did carry the entire movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, it did, but it's great.
But you know what's in East Africa?
Where's in East Africa?
Pirates.
Oh yeah, in Somalia.
Yep. So, behold, if you want to make a campaign where this fucker shows up in it, you can.
Yar har fiddle-dee-tee.
I am so excited about this concept.
Yeah, Mokole pirates and the Rokea, that would be a sick fucking module.
And then you get the Actina wrapped in with that too.
Dude, that'd just be so unbelievably cool.
We're going to play Across Africa at some point, and that entire game is going to take place in Seychelles
Yes.
and international waters.
Fun
That'd be a
fact,
great game.
wolves are pretty strong swimmers.
Are they actually?
Yeah,
Yep.
there's some islands on the east coast and west coast are noticing wolves swimming up to, I think it's 5 miles at a time to reach them.
That's kind of
So
cool.
they can hunt. Yep.
There we go. There's no escape.
I would like to see a wolf, like, a wolf swimming, because I imagine it would look adorable. Just like this fuzzy head poking out of the water. Just do.
And we've got the term sea dog for a reason.
Well, no, those are seals. And seals are adorable and must be protected at all costs.
Now, is that a child of Gaia with otter, or is that a Selkie?
Probably both.
After all, the Selkie are so deeply intertwined with werewolf lore, they might as well be part of the game by that point. Next up, the Makara. Now, you know a little bit about these guys already. And the Makara are pretty cool. They are the Mokole of India. Where, if you know what I've been doing with the 3.5 project, I've been doing a whole bunch of reading into India. And behold, you have the Makara. who are keeping their heads down. They are interested in India and only India. They only ever fuck with India. And they're trying to maintain the balance the best they can. Now, here's the cool thing. All those minor Indian gods, like, say, Agni, for example, this book confirms that those are spirits. Not just any spirits, big, damn, powerful nature spirits. So you've got the Mokole directly conversing with Agni and getting two-headed firepower god powers from that god. Behold.
Sick.
Ryan, you're currently playing as Dalzim in our Street Fighter game.
Yes.
And yeah, behold, you can have a Mokole that works just like that.
Oh, nice.
They saw that power. Fire-breathing crocodiles, dude.
Sign me up.
And along with all the other stuff you can have, where Kartikeya, you can have the Mokole, who's the master of all the swords. Ganesha, where it's the luckiest Mokole alive. You can do a lot of stuff with this. And mainly, they're just trying to be the triad where the triad has failed. They're trying to be the maintainers, the preservers, the creators, and the destroyers, where the triad has lost control. That's what the Makara are doing. And lastly, you have the Dragon Kings, known today as the Zhonglung. And this is probably my favorite picture of them because it really sells the point of how weird the Mokole can look. That's a dragon down there.
That's kind of fucking cool.
And these guys, when they enter their war form, literally look like the one-eyed, one-horned, purple-flying Chinese dragons when they enter that form. So, behold, Dungeons and Dragons is real. And
Always been real.
These were the guys who were working hand in hand with the Kuei Jin, back when the Kuei Jin could be trusted. And like I said before, these guys don't do that much fighting, but instead monitor and manage the wars of the other changing breeds to make sure they're actually doing their jobs. And then if they don't, they call in the Naga to handle it. Now I bring up the Naga. Why aren't they really Mokole anymore? It's because the Naga went down a different road. So different that it ended up changing the tribe. It's like bloodlines with vampire, the best way I can really describe the analogy, where they lost access to the Mnésis in order to obtain their secrecy, their incredible powers of stealth and misdirection in order to become the Naga. You lived a life for so long. You evolved, adapted, lost traits, and gained traits, and became something else with the Naga.
Right, which is why you can see some of the Naga gifts with the or not the gifts, the
rituals.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the rituals and the modifications.
Yeah, and the Varna with your little animal powers.
Yes.
And they have 2 litanies that they go off of.
Yes.
Kyle, I sent you the one that the Makara and the Zhonglu follow.
Yes. So I have what is known, where the hell did I put it, as the Mandates of Earth. So the Mokolé to the east, the Makara and the Xianglong adhere to the mandates of the Emerald Mother, otherwise known as the, and I'm going to fucking butcher this, Hengyokai Law. Did I say that right?
No, you actually got it right first try.
Oh, sick. So they're somewhat different from the duties, but they have a couple of core tenets. First, shirk not the task which have been given to you, shirk not the tasks which have been given you. The dragon breed are mother's memory. They cannot forget all that's past. Their special powers are their compensation for what they do. They should not desert the way to live as an ordinary human or a reptile. But there is different kinds of service available. But as long as they're taken in addition to their main goal, rather than instead of the memory, then they're all good. Next is guard the wheel, that it may turn in fullness. The Hengeyokai, half human and half beast, are by their very nature keepers of balance, much like how the Garo should be. They need to aid and abet the progression of the mother through the ages of time, even if forward motion brings them and their kin more death and sorrow. Again, what the Garo should be doing. Some dragons have studied. Oh God! Some dragons have studied Marxism and found its belief in a future workers' paradise to resemble the prophecy of the 12th age when heaven and earth will align.
Marxism.
Good
Jesus.
fucking lord!
Oh no. Okay, it's time to hit the abort button. Call it Cult and the Shadow Lords.
No, fuck it. We're done. Get this shit out of here. Goddamn communists. Okay,
Jesus
moving on from
Christ.
that.
Communist dragons.
God damn it. They were so cool, and then they turned out to be fucking commies.
You started listening to Mao Zedong and you took him seriously.
Yeah, and you saw your protectors of balance. You saw him kill 60 to 90 million people from famine and ecological damage. And you went, wow, I need some of that communism shit. By God, who would I need to kill around here to get some fucking communism? Good lord. Oh, good fucking. Anyway, moving on from that, honor your territory in all things. So, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Guard your territory, respect the land and all its creatures, including your kinfolk. The Makara and Xiongling both cherish humans and reptile kin, work closely with them. And with kinfolk help, they also work to keep the flows of the earth energy. Pretty straightforward. Let mercy guide you in our August Mother's court. So the Eastern Mokole must abstain from killing allies or potential allies, especially other Hengeyokai. However, other awakened are not protected by this mandate. So protect your own and protect those who work with you, but if others are awakened, they're fair game, basically. Honor your ancestors and your elders. Again, fairly straightforward. The Xiongling and Makara are the most reverent of all the Hengeyokai toward those who have gone before. Mnésis is the reason. Blind obedience to this rule has made for some inflexibility within the culture, and another result is the reverence for descendants. There must be someone to live after you when you die. Therefore, the Mokole surround breeding with great ritual and reverence, which I actually really respect about that, because being able to ensure the next generation as a part of legacy, and legacy is something I care very deeply about. Next, we have honor the pacts with the spirit world. Mokole must regularly perform rites and rituals. Pretty simple. As bloodlines die off, the lineages of Mnésis stretch and break, and the wall hardens. The Zorad and the Saichao are less able to do this. As a result, serious troubles come to the breed. So, preserve your rites, preserve your rituals, remember how to do them, learn from your elders. War not upon human nor beast. Forbids excessive hunting as well as fighting to exterminate any other nation or tribe. And the Mokole are philosophers rather than fighters. This has never been difficult to obey. However, I do credit them, despite their losses in both the War of Rage and the War of Tears, for trying. Because the whole thing is they're trying to maintain balance, which I respect a lot. Again, there's a lot to respect aside from the communism. But regardless, it's a good tenet nonetheless. And then finally, let no one or nothing violate the sacred places. Pretty similar to honor your territory in all things. Wallows and nests are worth the lives of the Visanta and Tongchung who guard them. However, any Mokole would fight as valiantly as the warriors when defending a sacred site. Basically, again, stand your ground when you need to. Pretty straightforward.
And makes a lot of sense, right? It's not too different from the Western one that's followed by the Mokole Mimbe and the Gumagon, as west as you can get with that. And go over it. They have a few tenets. First one, cull the fallen. If it fills a worm, kill it. No sympathy for it. There's no wisdom to be found in the worm. Even if it's the balance worm, you gotta smite it when you see it. And the reality of the situation is that the Mokole just can't keep up with it anymore. The worm is making too many reinforcements too quickly, and they can't do something like encourage him because, hey, that's going to kill all of their potential allies, and all their kinfolk are going to go and die with that. So you're in a catch-22. Fight the worm, but you know you're never going to win that fight. And next up, let no shade accuse you. If somebody insults you, don't let that influence you. If you are hot under the collar, if you're depressed, do not let it influence you when the chips are down. Do not take emotions with you into battle. You gotta fight with a clear head. What's the saying? The angry warrior is the one who loses the fight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You gotta keep a level and clear head when you're on the clock, so to speak.
Yep.
Next up, guard the wallow. Wallow is what they call a cairn. Nest is what they call a step. Where I think that one makes a lot of sense, right? Don't let the worm get their hands on that kind of stuff. I don't think we need to go into any detail with that.
Yep.
Next one, the veil must not be lifted.
Pretty similar.
Explanatory, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Keep that veil intact. Next up, test clutch. Kids, don't coddle your kids. Let your kids learn through the school of hard knocks. Don't be the bulldozer parent going in, handling all of your kids' issues for them. This is the next generation. Your nieces that you've been stockpiling, you need to pass that on to the next generation already. I'm roboting, aren't I?
No, you're good.
I gotcha. And yeah, that's like the issue we have with millennial parents nowadays, where I told you there's kids that are sending their moms into their jobs to tell them that they're quitting. And that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. So let your kids make their own decisions and their own failures. Do that as a Mokole. Where deadass, that's the kind of parent that I hope I end up becoming. Where I'm not smothering my kid, but I'm not neglecting them either.
Yep.
And next one, all are of Gaia. Take no pleasure in killing the worm. Remember, the servants of the worm came from Gaia's flesh. Don't smile as you kill them. Fight every one of your enemies with respect, because every one of you came from the same place. Your ashes that will return to ashes. Remember where you came from. Don't fight with prejudice.
Yeah.
And
I recall there was good.
I was going to say, for a group that can be as brutal as the Gumagon, that surprises me. That's in their litany.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, I think there was like an Ethiopian priest. I don't remember his name, but it really reminds me of something he said, where he said, "We fast, yet the devil does not eat. We sit in vigil, but the devil does not rest. The only way we can defeat the devil is to have humility, for he has none."
Mm-hmm. Where, you fly high, they go low. And yeah, you're going to ultimately lose the war for not going along with guerrilla warfare tactics, but at the same time, if you won the war but lost your souls in doing so, then that war wasn't worth winning. And last tenet, remember, like what we said with the thesis of the Mokole, remember everything, witness everything, do one of everything out in the world. And
except heroin, don't do that.
Thanks to that part of the litany, a Mokole literally can be anything. With the tribes, you have to play within a certain caste, within a certain trope with each of the tribes. Your Mokole can well and truly be anything.
That really does make them such a unique fera breed that, like, they're not shoehorned into anything. They're really free.
Yeah, because you've got warriors in the pre-made characters. You've got businessmen and diplomats in the pre-made characters. A Mokole really can be anything. Funny enough, these guys are like mechanically similar to a vampire clan in that kind of sense. Where
they really
the
are.
vampire clan a vampire clan can be anything. The Mokole is the one changing breed that can really be anything you think of.
Yeah, that's what I really like about them, is they're Like, yeah, it adds more to the mechanics of the game, which there are many in this game, which we have talked about. But that also means you're not working in too rigid of a rule set where you can't have fun with it.
Right. Which is what I feel like was a bit of an issue with Werewolf, because sometimes it feels like you're in too tight of a core set with some of these tribes, but it's not to the point where a tribe feels unplayable. Where let's kind of think of examples, like you can't have a white member of the Wendigo, for example. But with Mokole, it literally just can't be anything. Where, you know, there's ups and downs to both ones. There's like the tightness of being a werewolf and the looseness of being a Mokole. Just do what comes naturally to you.
Yes.
And at this point in the video, Ryan, what do we think of the Mokole?
I fucking love dinosaurs.
Love dinosaurs. There it is. Thank you, Grim, for keeping it simple.
Yep.
You're welcome. This was simple times with Graham.
And you loved him so much that in the live play, you killed the Mokole yourself.
It's true.
Well, I mean, he was corrupted by he was baned, so it doesn't really matter.
He ate the Chaos Crunch bar and became worm corrupted.
Look, we did him a favor at that point. We let him die with dignity, goddammit.
And Eden, what do we think of this group so far? Got any Mokole thoughts?
I have two things. One of them is Breathe Deeply, the novel. It's mandatory reading.
Right.
Second one is Fertile Essence Flaw.
Essence?
Fertile Essence Flaw.
This one's fun.
Really?
Yeah. So,
You are
Eden,
filled
would you like
with
to explain what that does?
Sure. You are filled with life-giving essence, to the peril of anyone who knows you. If anyone drinks from the same glass as you, uses the same bathing pool, or even handles your clothing or utensils, they can have children who will resemble you. Even people who are sterile or barren might become pregnant because of you. Parentheses, storyteller's option, and certainly not applicable to Meta's characters. Close parentheses. This can become annoying and cause some serious misunderstandings.
That's kind of hilarious.
So there, what was that fake article? Teenager jizzes in swimming pool with 19 other girls, gets all of them pregnant.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
What?
Yeah.
The chlorine would probably kill the sperm before it had time to get there, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's not possible because chlorine would be in the water.
Yeah.
It's all Genghis Khan got all those women pregnant back during his rule.
Nah, dude, Genghis Khan just did a lot of fucking.
You go over to... You get invited to Genghis Khan's pool party and he has both of his hands beneath the water the entire time.
Yep. Genghis, you want a drink? Nope, I'm busy.
All I gotta say is be thankful the breeder banes don't have any similar capability to this.
Oh, dear lord. That'd be fucking monstrous.
You get impregnated with a demon by touch.
Just hope a Mokole with this flaw doesn't get possessed and reproduce.
Bro.
Yeah. This book, by the way, Breathe Deeply, it's $5.99 on DriveThruRPG, $7.93 on Amazon.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Some of these books are better than others, but yeah, this is one of the good ones.
What's this one about?
Mokole.
If you read page 40 of this book, it basically just spoils the overall plot without any of the juicy bits.
Oh, fair.
Basically, even the back of the book basically says it, but Peter is basically infected by a plague pentax made via perfume from a corrupted flower.
Yeah.
And it's a non-linear story. And I think I mentioned this in Rage Across Russia, but this is the one where you hear a Krynos speak. Like actual Krynos speaking.
Okay.
And it's like surprisingly straightforward, like a Red Talon would speak. Just generally great. It's Glasswalker in the jungle. Just trying to find a cure, and it's like a really great story.
There's a lot of Glasswalkers in this book.
Yep.
Where looking at all of them, Because the main character Petey, he has a relationship with the Mokole of the Amazon, and then the plot you said goes off, and this is one of those books that's worth checking out.
Bruh, fucking Roshan's character is probably the best Silverfang in any of the books. Just how he acts as the pack alpha.
You want to know what Petey looks like? I'm getting you a picture of him right now. Yeah, this is what he looks like. There he is.
That's a Chad right there. Pop will eat itself.
He literally does have like the Giga Chad chin.
He does. He is the Crimson Chin. Look at that man.
I honestly cannot recommend this book enough. If there's one book to get someone into World of Darkness, or Werewolf specifically, it's this one. For someone going in blind.
And this book and it's a vampire book. It's escaping my thoughts at the moment. The Beckett series, that's another one that's worth checking out.
All right.
Yeah. Where you get to learn about the tragic tale of Anatole and Lucita losing her damn mind after his death. You got it the way he did, I wouldn't blame you. Let's talk about relationships now.
Yes. So the Mokole have a streak of being creatures of few words, but are very, very knowledgeable. Did you want me to talk about Kin at all, or not really?
We can bring up Kin.
Yeah. So just because it was on the page, we talked about the eighth son Kin. So the Mokole Kin are usually very traditional people of the tropics in both the New World and the Old World. Though westernization and colonization have slowly eroded their way of life, many have sought to combine the best of the new and old. The kin who parent true Mokole are accorded with great honor. The fathers are given the titles of siring and carrying or bearing for mothers, along with their clutch name. Fathers can make more true Mokole, but bearing them is always with the female, so they receive equal honor in this regard. However, many of the kin may not be fully aware of what they are, but they, Mokole court do arrange matches carefully using brood kenning to create happiness and many children to result. In romantic love, matches are unusual. However, the kin also aid Mokole in clutch business, often organized by the decorated sons. In a gather they speak where there is a matter that concerns them. Human kin jokingly call themselves the eighth son. Mokole kin seldom manifest gnosis, and like all shapeshifter kin, they cannot rage. But there are some who can manifest first-level gifts, and some even awaken as mages, usually orphans or members of tropical crafts such as the Bata'a or the Kopaloi. Mage or gifted kin are typically admitted to full membership in a clutch and are called by a sun auspice, as true Mokole usually are. However, as the number of Mokole drop, using kin to fill up a clutch has become more and more accepted. Kin, however, do not undergo a rite of passage, and they do not have true Mnésis. The memories are latent within them, and kin with gnosis can have the occasional dream or vision of ancestral memories at the storyteller's discretion. Kinfolk are also responsible for Mokole alligator farms in the American South. Unlike more conventional gator farms, they aren't sources of food or skins. They are basically refuge for Hamid and Sukit alike. Kin alligators are matched to produce true Mokole, while non-kin are raised for wilderness reclamation or to stock zoos. Human visitors are encouraged to see the alligator show for a fee. Basically is another way to as a way for them to supplement their livelihood. Pretty simple. So moving on from that, we do have the stereotypes. There isn't much. They didn't say anything about the Garo directly, but they did have plenty to say about the other fera breeds. So starting from the top, we have the Ananasi. This is narrated between two fucking Mokole, Jeffo and Peter. So first you have the Ananasi. They're freaky. They're very freaky.
Mm-hmm.
So they're spiders who drink blood. They do all the dirty work of at the maker, unmaker, and shaper. That is the wild, the worm, and the weaver. They haven't really met one, but they wouldn't know what to do with them. And then you have the Bastet. The best. What's up?
I was going to say with the Ananasi, the Mokole can confirm that this is the result of the pet project of the Weaver commissioning Gaia, hey, can I please have a fair breed? And then Gaia and the Weaver made the Ananasi. And then that would have been an apocalypse scenario in of itself if the Ananasi did not collapse structurally and go to war with themselves.
Right. So moving on.
So glad that happened.
Yes. Moving on from that, we have the Bastet. The Bastet will deal with just about anybody, and the Mokole will typically help them wherever they can, and the Bastet will do likewise for the Mokole. Although they do need to talk more. They work well together, but they don't really get together to talk.
Yeah, the Bastet are incredibly prickly.
Yes. And then we have my favorite breed, the Korax. Or as they refer to them, the Sun's own. What's up?
The Snitches.
I don't care. I like the Korax. The Sun's own eggs. They gave up the memory but they still have like a couple of little tricks like the eye plucking thing. And now they act as, as we know, the scouts and the messengers of the Mother Gaia. They believe that they used to be white. In the memory, they saw one a long, long time ago, but it doesn't prove that all ravens are black just because you never saw a white one. But the ravens are friendly enough, even though there isn't a whole lot of them left, because the majority of them live where it's too damn cold. And, the mother's parts are severed, which is part of why she's dying.
You left us, you could hang out with the Gefimris all the way in ice-ass cold Scandinavia.
They had mead and told good stories.
And with that White Raven stuff, in case you didn't watch our Korax episode, Helios decided he wanted to snuggle with the Korax and burnt their white feathers black. In doing so,
he was so happy to see them. And then we have the Gural. They used to be around, and they were the first changers since the Age of Sleep, and they could heal just about anything, even dead people. They say that, they don't remember it. They could heal the mother too, which, the Mokole claimed that they taught the Gural how to do that. But then the wolves killed them all. If there's any left, they're way up north out of sight, and more than likely there's still a few wandering around.
In case you remember what the Age of Sleep is, that's the period of Mokole history when they lost control over the world, so to speak.
Yes. The Naga. Are they dead? Like, they're not all dead, are they? There are a few left. The Mokole Makara in India know about them. They made a deal with the mother that they would give up the memory if she sent them to enforce her laws. Doesn't make you real popular. The Clutch Towers above the Kings did meet one, and more than likely she was the last one to meet one. They remember the Camazotz died, the Gronder in the Alps, or in the Apis, sorry, not Api. But they don't remember the Naga dying. There's probably a few left and they're not talking.
Where, you're not supposed to talk with them, and thank you for just spoiling the existence of the Naga. That's the secret police. You're not supposed to tell somebody about the secret police.
Well, yeah, but the Mokole know everything.
I know everything, and you know nothing.
Well, I don't think the Mokole are like that. They're like, hey, yo, Sonny Boy, I've got some ancient knowledge from the ancient library of all of history. Let me tell you some shit.
The snake people, the Illuminati, the reptoids, they're real.
Yeah, they're real, and don't talk about them any more than this or they'll hunt you down and kill you.
They will kill you if they know you. You know they exist.
Yes. And then the ratkin. Small mouthfuls, as they call them. I mean, all mammals used to be that small, but the rat folks stayed that way. They haven't really met any, but they don't seem to like the Mokole too much. Then again, they probably don't like anybody. If they're the keepers of man, they're not doing a good job.
Thank you for telling it like it is.
I like the Mokole. They're very straightforward.
I told you, they don't lie to you. They tell it like it is.
Yes. And then we have Johnny's favorite, the Rokea. Friend of the Undertow. They cull stupid humans, and so do we. But they're weresharks. You know, they knew a warrior who met one. But they only really know them from the memory. But they do talk from time to time. They live for hundreds and thousands of years, so sometimes one knows us from before, and they remember them because they're the memory.
Yeah.
They're cold, they're fast, they're silent. What's up?
Sadly, the same does not apply with the Mokole. The Mokole have a very short lifespan.
Yes.
In comparison.
So they're
but
cold.
They do have the Mnésis to back that up.
Yes, they're cold, they're fast, they're silent, and they're deep. They love the ocean. So whenever they can get somewhere where the reefs will open up and the hunting is good and the waters are safe, then they'll talk to the Rokea, but it's rare.
And I'm pretty sure the Rokea are keeping a close eye on the Mokole, because if they die, then Plan B goes into effect.
Yes.
Yeah. Storm the planet, kill all the humans, then immediately hop back into the ocean before the nukes go off.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yes.
And then the fallout gets in the water, and then everything goes to shit.
And were the Garou in this book? Because I think they edited out the Garou in this book.
There are no Garou in this book. That is why I asked you.
You remember that? All of you who are watching at home, you remember that The Boys where Soldier Boy and Homelander have their argument, where Soldier Boy looks at Homelander and he says, I'm the original, you're just a cheap knockoff. And then Homelander looks at Soldier Boy and says, no, I'm the finished version. That is the relationship between the Mokole and the Garou.
It's rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season.
Yeah, God has turned her back on you in favor of the most violent species the world has ever seen.
Hey, look, desperate times.
Yeah, exactly. You lost sight of humanity, so you could go all in on your fight with Wyrm. As we have seen with previous episodes and context clues that we can pull, I think the Mokole like one tribe and that's it, and that's the Silent Riders. Everyone else, you took our legacy and our future away from us with War of Rage. They have nothing but contempt for the Garou. There's a reason why these two do not work together on any sort of operation.
Again, Silent Striders being based.
Yeah, same with the girl. There's a reason why you in your werewolf game you can't have a Mokole NPC with you, because the Mokole have no reason to work for a changing breed that's possessed by the same jealous spirit of Cain that they've been trying to fight since day one of humanity.
And speaking of, go ahead.
I'm just going to say this. Based on the canonicity of Breathe Deeply, I could see the Glasswalkers being another tribe they might start warming up to.
I don't know about that.
After Glasswalker, the Glasswalkers pay for their next rainforest. Well, they do the Trelon Musk tree drive, like with Mr. Beast, and then plant them an entire mangrove swamp right next to a cairn.
Not only that, there was a joke Peter said in the book that Glasswalkers don't find out how to put a warm shower. They find a way to warm up the rain.
Yep.
Where, thanks to that book, the Glasswalkers are at least trying to buy the Mokole's allegiance, but I think the Mnésis is going to tell you how fucked the Glasswalkers are as a tribe.
Yep.
Where, yeah.
You're in an abusive relationship with Cockroach. You need to get out of that.
Yep.
He is the best and the worst part about that tribe.
Okay.
He is a genius, but he's an evil genius.
Yep, I don't know. That's the dude you want to be talking to. You're probably better off with not Almighty Dollar. What was the other one? Lion.
Easy credit.
What?
No, not Starbridge Lion. He ran that trap to the ground.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm trying to remember the other
Monkey
one.
King is who. Monkey King.
Yeah, that's it.
That sort of thing. Or Clashing Boom Boom. That would also work.
I thought Clashing Boom Boom was a Shadow Lord totem.
That's a war totem.
Yes.
Yeah. The militaristic glassworker.
Basically, it would be that would go kind of hard though.
There would be two other tribes that the Mokole would be cordial with. That would be the Actina and the Red Talons.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Red Talons. Well, I mean, yeah, the Red Talons apologized for what they did to the Bunyip, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Mamu in Rage Across Australia worked his ass off to try to undo the sins of his father. I love his story, by the way. Mamu is such a great character.
Yes.
So yeah, the sins of the father trope. And eventually the two started talking again after Wyrm Beta ruined everything and they're trying to get their shit back together for Australia.
Yes.
And
so, speaking of Kane, Kindred, Stalkers of the Night.
Fuck them.
They're easy enough to step on them. They're, blood devils that are destroyed when they see the sun. There's a lot of different kinds of them, but the Setites are the worst. Look towards Egypt. They took Egypt away from them and destroyed it. From the Kin, they heard that the blood devils fight each other, so maybe they'll all just kill each other. That would be kind of tight. Moving on.
Hoping it happens with the Kuei Jin.
Yes. Mages. There's all kinds of different kinds of witches and wizards. The Bata'a are friends of the Mokole. They know about the Dream Speakers. Some of them have a good bit of honor to their ways. And many of which are actually kin to the Mokole. There is also in Kem, there's some cunning men called the Hemka Sobk a long time ago who worshipped Sobek, the crocodile of the Nile, and they were very good to them.
Right.
But they don't know a whole lot about the rest of them. They fought in the wars. Hang on. No, that's just more about the War of Rage there.
Yeah.
And that's about all they have to say about the mages.
Now, the fun thing about the mages, all of you people out in the audience who have played Mage the Ascension, when we bring up the Mnésis, I hope you're thinking of the Akashic Record when I talk about that. Where you know that the Mnésis used to be a library realm. That's still a thing with the Akashic Brothers. Their library is still around. And unlike the Mokole, they never told anybody they had that. So the Akashic Record, that's safe and secure. You can go over and you can read the gigantic library of scrolls whenever you want, as long as you are a member of the Akashic Brotherhood.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang, we love casting spells.
Is that the Kung Fu Money Gang is what it is?
Yes.
You remember Fist of North Star, right?
I've only seen the memes.
Yeah, that's what the Akashic Brotherhood can do.
Nani?
Well, hold on, when you can do the 8 pains, 9 hells, nobody's going to invade your library.
Yep. And then a tribe not often looked over. The only other time I've seen this written was in, I believe, the Korax pharaoh book. Mummies. In Egypt, the memory tells them about another kind of immortal. Men and women whose bodies died but kept coming back. It's mummies. They're made by magic and they never die, and it worked. The memory sees them. They like the Mokole because everyone else has forgotten the world that they lived in. So every now and again, they'll find a Mokole to talk with them. One came to see the Mokole in the book about 50 years ago by the name of Semtik, something like that. He was, full of gossip. He was full of gossip and, told some interesting stories. Most of them aren't like vampires. They have some gifts and rites. They don't eat people or drink blood. They're very weird. When they see them in the memory, they're very sad. They can't die, and they're their world is gone, so they fight for all they have. They fight for other mummies because it's all they have left. And there are
As
some
you
others who are
remember-
worse. They fell to what's called the Dissolver. They're name eaters, memory eaters, or at least they were. They're not sure if any are still around, but run if you meet one.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into full discussion with Mummy the Resurrection, but yeah, you remember that group formed specifically because of Set with the Shuharu, and the Mokole could have stood alongside them. They could have fought alongside Horus back then, but nope, you missed that part of history. And yeah, it makes sense why they would know about mummies, because once again, the Mnésis reveals everything there is to know.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
you have wraiths. They're as real as your hand. Garrow who die don't become ghosts, do they? Actually, no. There's a whole lot of wolf ghosts, especially the Bunyip. You know, the white fella killed them and they didn't stay dead. And it makes the shadow incredibly scary. They saw a white fella wolf be torn to pieces. And the pieces, they just keep screaming. The Mokole do have a harder time entering the Umbra because of their own ghosts. The Mokole covers another Mokole, the brat always dies, and dies real bad. And the Mokole ghosts don't really leave them alone either.
Mhm. And that's a big issue, because you're removed from the cycle of reincarnation if you become a ghost as a changing breed. That's a very bad thing to have happen to you.
Yes.
That's
Consult your
You ain't
local
come back as an
silent
ancestor.
strider.
consult that so you can get them to move on to whatever happens after a changing breed dies.
I mean, I feel like
Hopefully,
that.
God will let you in.
I feel like that'd be the way for a silent strider. That'd be a good like side quest for him. It's like, oh shit, a Mokole's a wraith. I gotta fucking help him.
There you go. To help out your bros.
Yes, absolutely. And finally, we have
That's the demon baby.
yes. Finally, we have the changelings. There's some other odd folks around there. Some call themselves the Ishu. They bring them up by name in this book. They're black fellas from Africa, and they're very good people. They like to visit the gatherers for the party. They have great stories, all full of knights and princesses and princes and castles. Maybe it's all true somewhere, but they don't know.
I really do like some of the artwork with the Ishu, because it's full-blown Arabian Nights with their designs. Because it started off as the African myths, but you look at some of their artwork and it's all stuff that would fit right in with Aladdin.
Yes.
And I really like their designs. I would love at some point to run like an Al Qadim game with D&D if I ever get back into it.
Yeah, I was invited to join a changeling game that some people at work were, but their group is a little too tight and I was kind of new. So sadly, I was not accepted into the group. But if I was to join that group, I did have plans to play an Ishu named Sarif, who would go around, telling stories to people to inspire children to become writers and musicians.
Where I still think that's bullshit, because, dog, we need as many people as possible playing World of Darkness again.
Yep.
Uh,
I would have been the
and-
great Sarif.
And the fun thing with the issue, they are beginning to branch out and become probably the most diverse of all the changelings, because you get white issue when you're in America. On top of that, you have their unseelie cousins, the Oba, who are pretty much the same as the issue, but they follow the rules of the unseelie court and all the chaos that ensues with doing so. Yep.
You get to play punk rock as an Ishu. That'd be sick.
You get to love it.
Yep.
Glamour is free, of course.
I'm going to be honest, like, I know you said that we don't really do the changeling books justice, but I would love to go over the Ishu.
We gotta double up on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
they're kind of short.
There's not enough. There's not enough content to carry an entire episode with them.
Yeah, but I like I said, I always joked about being, Elmer the Keebler Elf Boggin, but playing as Sarif the Ishu would be so much more fun.
Exactly. Get to do your best Robin Williams impression.
And then he put a little, and then he put on a little bow tie like Picasso. 10,000 years will give you such a creak in the neck.
Almighty power, it'd be living space.
Yes.
What's the? There's one more spot we're missing, isn't there? Such as Demon the Fallen.
They have not brought them up, as far to my knowledge.
Because that book wasn't written yet. That's why.
Then do regale us.
But-
What would the Mokolé think?
But keep in mind, the Mnésis. These guys know about the demons, and they witnessed the fall. So, without a doubt, they know that God is real. Because they can go back into the memory of Gaia and hear God condemning the fallen to eternity in hell.
Did God make Gaia?
No, well, yes, actually, with Demon the Fallen.
Oh. Did he just, like,
So there you
delegate
go.
his power or roles to Gaia?
Yeah, he made... Yeah, that's how it worked. He made the Triad made Gaia, and then he made the angels to monitor the Triad and Gaia. And then the angels did too well at their job, according to the cryptics, and then got condemned to hell.
Oof.
There you go. If only you didn't listen to that Lucifer guy, you would have been just fine.
I mean, I was on board with the Luciferians until I found out he's just a weaver in funny colors.
Exactly. He's debatably better or worse than the Weaver with his end goal.
Like, he cares about fucking humanity, but to the point where he would destroy all that makes humanity the way it is.
You can't have anything happen to your itty-bitty creations.
Look,
Even
I understand
worse.
you care about us, but he's like a helicopter mom. Where are all the ups and downs, the trips, the falls, the scrapes, and the scabs that make life so goddamn fun and interesting?
Which would make me wonder, if the Mokolé survive into the post-apocalypse, would Lucifer follow them into it?
I feel like he would to see them restored, because like he would see the apocalypse and believe God has forsaken the world and could finally take his rightful place among mankind.
And you have to worry about the big L over your shoulder.
The big L? Lucifer.
Yeah.
Right? It'd start out like a blood cult, but then you would also have what remained of the Garrow, if they didn't all become spirals after that.
Here's a segment we haven't done on the show in a while. Totems.
Yes. Tell us about totems.
Yep. We have many totems. We have Dragon, who is, well, take a guess as to what he looks like. He is every dragon wrapped up into one. And this dude is 150 million years old.
He's older than the Maryland blue crab, which I don't know how to feel about that.
Exactly. He rates that he gives you the gift Dragon's Breath. You can guess what that does. And when his children are in need, he gives them the gift of Dream Semblance, allowing them to appear as a true dragon for one scene. Behold, the game-breaking power at background cost 5. The ban, on the other hand. No Mokole may dishonor dragon. Definitions of this ban may vary, but violation of the duties, betrayal of the Mokole's secrets, or other actions endangering the dragon breed qualify.
What is his relation to Green Dragon, if any?
Let's see. I'm guessing that he's Green Dragon's daddy, in a way. And if you were to have a totem that would reflect the values of the balance Wyrm, Dragon would be that totem.
Okay, so American Dragon Jake Long World of Darkness playthrough when?
There you go. Next up we have Finch, the bird. We've gone from a dragon to a bird.
As evolution does.
See. What can Finch do for you? Finch, naturally enough, grants children the gift Beak of the Finch. His children also receive 1 temporary point of honor and can draw upon 3 extra points per story. The ban. Finch's children adapt themselves to their environment. You live by a river, you must eat a fish. You live in the mountains, you must eat a goat. You have to adapt to your environment. Don't ever stray away from the nature that you are living in.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Easy enough, right? But you don't get that much, really. Next up, shoe crab. We're getting a little weird with these totems, aren't we?
Have you ever seen the
Horseshoe crab
underside of a
makes sense,
horseshoe
though.
crab?
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, it looks like an H.R. Giger painting.
Put on
I think they're
fake
cool.
in him.
They're
They're also
cool as
great for
fuck.
their blood, which is copper-based because used in a lot of pharmaceuticals.
What?
Exactly.
Yep.
Delicious horseshoe crab blood. Let's see. Now let's read about background cost 4. Horseshoe crab teaches the gift become log. Guess what that does?
Ow.
Let's see.
You
And the
become a log.
children, his children receive an additional point of willpower. To those who serve him well, he will allow you an additional point in Mnésis. The ban: Horseshoe crab's children must oppose needless innovation and change. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't invent for the sake of inventing.
They would not like the
Do it out of
knockers then.
necessity. Yeah. No. No.
Nope.
No.
I mean, horseshoe crab.
To be fair,
Good.
I don't think any would like them.
No.
Nope.
I mean, it's like,
Bad.
hey, yo, horseshoe crab, we trying to evolve. You want to come with? Nah, I'm good. 150 million years later, still horseshoe crabbing.
See, next up, the Black Fury adjacent totem, Whiptail Lizard. Girls only, that's the ban. Background cost 7. Traits to her daughters, she gives the gift Whiptail's Clutch, a unique gift enabling them to sacrifice 3 permanent nodes to lay an egg containing a perfect infant clone of themselves. Behold Jurassic Park.
What the hell?
Furthermore, her clutches gain 3 extra dice to any survival or enigma roll. And if you have this totem, Black Furies will come to your aid if they're in your story. Exactly.
That's fucking incredible. Like I was thinking, wow,
Exactly.
3 permanent gnosis, that's really steep. But then a perfect replica of yourself and 3 extra dice to survival and enigma. That's fucking busted.
I am my own mother.
Well, that reflects in
That's
the
not gonna be weird
ban.
at all. Who's next? Scarab. He makes a return from the Silent Starters book. Go listen to our Silent Starter episode if you want to know about Scarab.
Yes.
And lastly, we have Snake Doctor. He's a dragonfly.
All right, cool.
As to why he's called Snake Doctor, well, I would love to know that answer, and I will never get it. The traits. Children of the Snake Doctor may, once per story, heal 1 level of health from any type of damage. They also gain a temporary point in honor and wisdom and may drop on 4 extra points of willpower per story. And Snake Doctor demands that swamp home must be preserved. Protect the swamp.
Yes.
not
6 is a
drain the
little
swamp,
bit
protect the
pricey,
swamp.
but heal 1 level of health per any damage type is like a life or death thing. Although I will say, is that treated as an action?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you would have to get the fuck out of Dodge in order to, or like have someone reprioritize targets so you could heal that. That's kind of pricey. But the 4
Right.
extra points of willpower would be very nice.
Where some of these are a little bit more practical than others. I'd say Dragon's the best one out of all these.
Yeah, more it certainly seems like it, but a fucking Whiptail is pretty fucking broken too.
Yeah, you gotta have you gotta get rid of that Y chromosome if you want that. On the other
Yes.
hand, go see the Black Furies and Glosswalkers about that sex change you've been saving money for.
Yes. So, what we got?
Let's talk about. See, Ryan, you want to do rituals now?
Yes, I can do rituals now.
Could you toss me that link if you please?
Let's do the rituals. I'm busy looking at a picture of a dinosaur eating a carcass. Give me a minute.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
I'll put it right here.
Why you gotta be
for
such a
everyone.
good person for, Ryan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'm just gonna.
No, I already got it. We're good.
All right. Oh man. Here you go, Ethan. I don't know if you got it.
No, I got it.
There.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
there
I
it
was
is. That's the
talking to
site.
Ethan.
Yeah. I am so glad this site's still up. May this site never go down.
All right.
I'm gonna knock on wood real quick.
Yeah.
This site is going to go down because of us.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, I get pissed as hell if that happens.
There's always the way back machine. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, and of course some of the rights are in the books, but we gotta dig around for that shit. It's not alphabetical order like this.
Wayback Machine doesn't automatically back up, so you have to go to the website and make your own backups.
I mean,
Right.
that's fine. What do all you really need? Just like the HTML?
I
Hello?
don't know.
Keep your fingers crossed. Let's do it.
Anyway,
Let's talk about
Alright.
talk about your 5 favorite.
My 5 favorite? Ooh.
Yeah. Or one of every level.
I'll do one of every level because I haven't had the chance to go through it.
All right.
Let's see. I'm just going to choose the largest amount of text for level 1, and that's Rite of the Illuminated Wallow. This
This
rite
one's
is
fun.
very similar to the Rite of the Opened Cairn, save that the sunlight must fill the wallow with its blessing. For midnight suns, a night sky is appropriate to illuminate the wallow with darkness. Note that the Rite Master must please not only the spirits, but their sleeping elder, if there is one. The method for which these creatures can be bested varies from wallow to wallow. For example, if the elder was a Mokole player playing a riotous game in the wallow's sands, might illuminate a wallow of laughter, while an elder who has fought the Garrow all their life might demand a much darker ritual. As the Garrow Cairn Rite of the Open Cairn, to open a cairn, a character engages in a resisted extended success test of wits plus rituals, difficulty 7. The number of successes needed equals the cairn's level. The character must overcome the cairn spirit to prove themselves worthy. The cairn spirit uses its cairn level as a dice pool. Its difficulty equals the character's gnosis, while the number of successes needed equals the character's willpower.
Mm-hmm.
The first one to garner the necessary number of successes wins. If the character
There you
wins
go.
the test, they can add the Cairn's rating to their dice pool when performing actions appropriate to that Cairn's focus. If they lose, however, they take wounds equal to the number of successes by which the Cairn beat them. A botch indicates that the wounds were aggravated. Ooh.
Pretty mean.
yeah, that's a little rough.
Why? These physical and spiritual wounds are the result of backlash of spiritual energy.
There you go. Use the Cairn as it is intended. If you got hate in your heart, let that hate out in the form of that Cairn.
Very nice.
The amount of times I've quoted that skit.
We're going to do the Silence of the Oracles for level 2.
Mm.
This merciful rite allows the Rite Master to protect a person from memories that would drive them mad. Ooh, that's good against Malcaps.
Yep. Malkavian stuff.
Yeah. It is often, or Black Spiral Dancers.
Right.
It is often used to protect survivors of torture, molestation, rape, or massacres. It allows the wounded person to live normally without going mad. The Rite Master confers with the patient as they perform the rite. For each success, a memory may be sealed. The recipient will still know that this trauma had occurred, but will not be injured by the memories and will be able to remember without pain. If the rite is used to aid a derangement or harano, the patient is allowed a scene of rational behavior for every success on the rite master's roll.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a temporary
Mokole out
fix.
here doing something right.
Yes. Now, Kyle, I know what character you're thinking of when we brought up that. I
No,
know
wait,
who
for-
you're thinking of.
What, for removing memories?
Yes.
Yep.
Ends the road.
Yeah, it might be good for her. The only problem is,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any alligators in Appalachia.
Nope.
Unless you
You'll
wanted to
have
take a
drive all the way down
vacation to
for
Florida.
that.
I do need to ask you
Rage
about
across-
that a little bit more in detail after the thing.
We had to do Rage Across Miami instead.
Well, no, I'm doing Miami by Night, but that takes place in the 80s.
Gotcha. Let's see. What else you got for us, Ryan?
Level 3. As much as I want to do Shed the Crocodile's Tears, I'm probably going to do Rite of the Stone.
Yeah, instead of being a liar, you can tell the truth with this.
Right? This allows the Mokole to attach a mystical stone to their body. The stone can be a belly stone, giving strength, or a skull stone, giving wisdom. A belly stone must be
crystal.
heavy. What?
The Geo Crystal.
Yeah. The belly stone must be heavy, smooth, and properly shaped. And the search for a perfect stone can last a long time. Skull stones, or dragon stones, are much harder to find, as they must also be perfect, flawless jewels. The jewel must be cut by an artisan with a stone cutting skill, then heated to a searing heat, such as in sun's fire, in a forge, or in volcanic heat. The stone is then burned into the Mokole's forehead, where it is visible in archid form. In some Mokole, it is visible in human form, Homid form as well. During the rite, Mokole must fill the stone with gnosis by meditating in sun's light, save that the gnosis goes into the stone instead of the Mokole. The stone's maximum gnosis equals to the rite master's current gnosis. The stone is then swallowed if a belly stone, or branded into the forehead if a skull stone. In hunting or battle, the Mokole may spend the gnosis on a one-for-one basis. Belly stones add strength for one scene, and skull stones may add to any mental attribute. Once the stone's gnosis is expended, the stone is absorbed fully into the Mokole's body. Eru who hunt Mokole sometimes seek these mystic stones and use them to store gnosis. In addition, when an ancient Mokole dies, their stone can be passed to a younger Mokole without losing its gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's a typo.
Yeah. So there you go. So you can implant yourself with the Jo crystal and then charge it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly what this is.
It is. But hey, it's pretty cool though. Just being able to use a stone to enhance your abilities.
Yeah. On a more serious note, you become Gigan from the Godzilla movies.
Actually, didn't watch.
You know who I'm talking about, do you?
I do not.
See, post Gigan in the chat. Let's do it. See, you have not seen enough Godzilla movies.
No, I've seen the original one, and I think just the original one.
See, it's open the sky up in a new tab. You get a little Gigan action figure. Let's send you this one. See, behold, this is what it looks like.
Oh yeah, I recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aren't there alternate versions with like chainsaw hands?
That is kind of
yeah, exactly.
Tight. That one's
Yeah,
King Ghidorah, and that one's Gigan.
Yep.
We are controlling them.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Godzilla Final Wars, the Metal Gear Rising of the Godzilla movies.
Exactly. The action is so damn ridiculous. Bullshit that Gigan lost his fight in that movie.
Oh, wait, in which movie?
And Final Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't he lose to Mothra in that movie?
I think so.
Honestly,
that's so damn
Mothra
stupid
is the
that he lost
lamest
that fight.
kaiju.
You have the sickest design lose to the lamest one. Ugh.
I'm just
Not
happy
fair.
they made Zilla from the American movie canon. Only to kill it.
That was pretty awesome.
I love the 90s one where
Ryan
they
was-
tried to make Godzilla sympathetic because they blew up her eggs in
That's a
Madison
lot of
Square
fish.
Garden.
Yeah. There was a lot of fish in that movie.
Oh yeah, there was a spin-off TV show of it too.
Well, that one was alright. Ryan, what's the next gift?
I am currently debating between Open Sunbridge and Boat of the Sun.
Boat of the Sun.
No. All right, Boat of the Sun it is. This right allows the Rite Master to borrow Sun's boat for a time to transport themselves and colleagues to a destination under the sun. Did you go to the moon with that?
I suppose you could.
I think you
I mean,
could go
after
to
all,
any
it's-
planet.
Yeah, but then you would
It's under the
immediately,
sun.
like, fucking... Then
Ah,
you
you
would
got
immediately
soak.
suffocate.
No, you guys
See,
will
well-
you'll be fine.
Well, then we're going to have to make another gift or a fetish to prevent that from happening.
Just wear a fucking fish bowl on your head. You'll be fine.
All right,
There it is.
System.
You played Mario. You know how it works.
Yep.
System. The Rite Master must behold Sun's face. Then assemble the boat's crew, who must sit as if in a boat and hold their hands as if paddling. They may take as many passengers as they have current gnosis, as in their points for gnosis. The Rite Master declares the destination, which, along with the port of departure, must be in the sun's light. They must know the destination to haven't been out of mind, or through a Mnésis rule. Storyteller's discretion. They call out the strokes for the paddler and enact the rite. The difficulty is 6 for a destination that the Rite Master has seen, and 8 if he has only Mnésis to guide him. For each success, one person reaches the destination. The others are left behind. If it's botched, then one passenger per roll is unharmed, but stranded between 2 places.
What? He's come with some severe drawbacks.
Yeah, it does. That's a bit of a fucking high cost. This would be in emergencies only.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You call,
But the
the Sun
amount
Great
of
Canoe.
time, the amount of time it takes for it. You have to
Right.
set everyone up in a specific boat pattern and then time the rowing.
We have to pull out a seating arrangement. We have to have a seating arrangement for who's going to sit where in the boat.
Do you got to sing the or you got to do the Willy Wonka poem while you're sitting in there?
Yeah.
And
There's no
they're
money in where we're
certainly
going.
not showing any signs that they are slowing. And then Gene Wilder screams at them.
Nobody knew he was going to do that poem.
I fucking love Gene Wilder.
See, yeah. See,
I was shocked when I saw him in Bonnie and Clyde. I did not expect him to be there.
he had a wide range.
Yeah, he really
Yeah,
did.
he
But
did.
him in Blazing Saddles, I think, is just a classic role. You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
See,
Moving
we have
on
one
to
more
level-
to go for, don't we?
Yes. Level 5. I chose Citadel of the Dragon. Because we were talking about the dragon earlier.
Right.
Through chanting that helps them dig into the Mnésis while guiding a group of artisans. This rite allows the Rite Master to direct the carving of stone structures with images of dragon kings. These images are so horrific that they tap into the terror of the Mokole, that the Mokole cause in mammals. This rite once allowed Mokole to construct stone citadels hidden from mankind. To perform the ritual, the rite master must make a charisma rituals roll, and the least talented of the artisans must make a dexterity crafts roll, substituting expression or repair if the storyteller prefers. The difficulty being 7. The storyteller will determine the number of successes needed depending on the size of the structure. A small shrine will take fewer days than a castle. If the rite succeeds, the building will cause delirium. Unfortunately, Mokole know that fear engenders hatred, and occasional hunters are strong-willed enough to fight instead of fleeing, especially if they attack at night when the stones cannot be seen clearly.
And behold, you create the pant-shitting terror through squiggly lines that you carved into a wall.
Cool.
Very scary indeed.
Yes.
See. So, overall, these all have good benefits, but damn do they come at a steep price if you mess up the roll.
Yeah, the totems are honestly better than the rites in this fera breed.
Yeah. Oh, also, the Mokole, because they were the first changing breed, can't step aside of services. They have to use a gift or a rite in order to do that.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, this is what I mean by them being the prototype changing breed. It shows with how long it takes them to do X, Y, Z in terms of certain powers.
Yeah. They're not known for their speed, the Mokole.
Nope, it's a slow crocodile.
Yes. All right.
And let's go over everybody's favorite part of the episode, the gifts.
Yes, and because there's so fucking many of them, I'm only going to do the common Mokole gifts.
Exactly, because good God, the customization.
Even the Mokole gifts, even the common gifts, there's a fucking fuckload of them.
Exactly.
Thankfully, some of them are very short.
This breed book is 112 pages. I think 50 pages alone are dedicated to mechanics.
Yes. So to start at rank 1, I'll try to find one that's just a lot of them are actually fairly simple, but there are a fucking lot of them.
Exactly. You got many options.
Yes. So I'm going to start with Tailbiter's Mumble, which is a rank 1 common gift. The Mokole may bite her tail in her mouth and roll any distance desired as quickly as her human form runs. This gift is taught by a hoop snake. System. The Mokole must be Insukid or Arkid and spend a willpower point. Apart from that, the movement bonuses are automatic. So you basically just Sanic away from things. It's kind of hysterical.
Now, you say hoop snake.
Yep.
This is a fictitious snake that exists in Australia, where it does exactly that. It does the Ouroboros, and then gets onto its side and starts rolling down the street like that.
That's funny.
I
look, if I saw that rolling down the street at any point in time, I would just fall over laughing. It'd be so funny. Just, I'm walking, like I'm on this vacation in Australia, and I'm just walking along, seeing the sights, and I just see a snake just rolling down the road next to some cars.
And there's a picture of it.
Oh my fucking God, that's hysterical. Good Lord. Gotta go fast. I can see so many memes of that, just people filming that. Gotta go faster, 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 faster.
It's just that one movie that's the wheel, but instead of a wheel, it's a snake.
Yes. Oh my God, it's hysterical. Okay, so moving on from that, we have, where the fuck did I put the gifts at? There they are. Rank 2. There's some more. These get a little bit neater. I'm going to go with Waxwork Monster. Brought to light recently by The Shining, this gift lets a Mokole take advantage of the fact that, quote, dinosaurs are extinct, end quote, to hide in plain sight, even in Arkid form. Essentially, the Mokole takes on the appearance of a model or a dummy. A Tatara spirit teaches this gift. System. The Mokolé spends a Gnosis point and rolls stamina and expression. For each success, he can freeze in place for 1 hour unnoticed by anyone. In Sukit form, he appears to be a stuffed crocodile. In Hamid form, he appears to be a mannequin or waxwork. In Arkid form, the Mokolé appears to be a life-size fiberglass or cement dinosaur model, but cannot cause delirium unless he moves or speaks. Some Shining will even carry around a small label, designating the species of dinosaur that they are supposed to be. Of course, the, quote, statue will arouse suspicion if there is not supposed to be a statue in the place where the Mokolé is hiding. Whole clutches have concealed themselves this way as roadside attractions and the like. So if you want to play Night at the Museum, this gift is for you.
That they get to go on a whole Teddy Roosevelt adventure.
Honestly, I think that gift is so funny. I love the potential in that.
I love how serious yet silly this game can get.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Bonars. It's like the Bonars have some ridiculous fucking gifts, but they are awesome later in the game. Like fucking Hoot Nanny.
And their entire social structure being based off of forming labor unions.
I mean, it works.
The guy who wants to take charge is the leader.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, simple as that.
Rank 3. Because we brought this up with the Dragon Totem, I felt like it was proper to actually talk about it. Dragon's Breath does exactly what the hell you think it does. This gift allows the Mokolé to spit fire, as do the Dragon Kings. This gift is taught by Dragon himself. Kind of cool. System. This costs 1 point of rage per burst. To hit, the player rolls Dex and Brawl at difficulty 8. The flame does 2 health levels of aggravated damage. For each extra rage point spent, 1 extra level of damage is done. Thus, Mokolé could spend 4 rage and do 5 health levels of aggravated damage. If you have the rage for it, this is an insta-kill. This thing is fucking broken.
Well.
If you hit it,
you're
though,
out doing a
Dex and Brawl at difficulty 8.
A poot.
Yeah,
you're out doing
damage.
a poot in damage levels.
Yes. Yeah, but that's still at difficulty 8. That's kind of steep, so it's balanced out by the difficulty.
God,
Rank 4.
Just gotta land that shot.
View
It's
the
like landing
Seed.
the Falcon Punch and Smash.
It is. Like, I love... There's nothing more satisfying than hitting the Falcon Punch and Smash, but it's so hard against a player that knows what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, so rank 4, View the Seed. This gift comes from the belief that all things are but a dream of the idea or object that birthed them. It allows the user to see the, quote, seed of anything, from the parents of a child to the mastermind of a plot. Note that some things result from a growth of several seeds. Mokole, looking at America, for instance, could see any number of things like John Locke and his study, Native Americans planting maize, Africans bought with Boston rum. The Gumagan are most likely to learn this gift, which is taught by Finch. System. The Mokole rolls Perception and Mnésis at difficulty 7. If the thing to be seen is outside the Mnésis of the Mokole's line, the difficulty is 8. In the case of truly alien causes and effects, the difficulty could be 9. Such as Vajunka plotting to sail into the deep umbra, or otherwise. This is a lethally important rank 4 gift.
Exactly.
Like if you're embroiled in a mystery and you need to find out how, that is the way to go.
The solve mystery button. I imagine a Mokolé detective story wouldn't exactly work, given that you could just, I don't know, see the past and automatically solve the mystery.
Well, it could be the party trying to find a Mokolé powerful enough to help them figure out what's been going wrong.
I'm like, talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure again. This is why I don't think this is a spoiler because the story came out in 2001. This is why Leon Abakio got killed off halfway through the story, because when you switch to a mystery element, the guy that could literally see the past with no limits would have solved the mystery had he still lived.
Yep. But it made Death Note a whole lot less interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you gotta love
and then
it.
finally, the last one They're 2 rank 5 gifts, but they're very similar to Garrow gifts. But the one I'm going to go with is Song of the Great Beast. As the Garrow Lupus gift, usually the Dinosaur Kings will teach this gift only to Sukids. They can use it to summon dinosaur great beasts. Note, however, that such monsters as sea scorpions and giant sharks also lie within Mnésis, and if the king decides to teach these songs, then they could do so. Basically, fuck you, I have a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all the common gifts, but bear in mind, there are so many fucking gifts for the Mokole, depending on which stream you're in.
These get absolutely ludicrous with some of the streams.
Yes, there are so fucking many. So there are there's common, and then there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. There's
different categories.
8, 9, and then there's 12 different streams that they mention here. 9 of them have 5 each. That's 45, plus the other 6 from the Makara Mbebe and the Shanglong. So that's 51 gifts.
Precisely.
51 gifts for the Mokole.
Well, if you're playing 20th edition, it shortens down this entire 102-page book to 15 pages. Where, given how complicated this was starting to get, I think it's a mixed blessing.
A little bit.
Because, yeah, I like variety, but at the same time, it's a little bit too much variety in comparison to the Rad.
Yeah, it's like playing Borderlands. You get 11 billion guns that do the same thing.
You try to figure out which one of these is supposed to be the best as you dig through them all.
Yeah, that's. I've been on this rant before, but like Borderlands is a game on paper that I should like. It's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi shooter with a bunch of different guns and cool locations and fun characters. Right. But I just can't get into it when there's no fucking definitive hierarchy of weapons, and they all feel the same with different numbers on them.
And then playing it multiplayer didn't work either because I knew the locations of all the secrets.
Yeah, so there wasn't really...
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. I always bring up the game Black as a comparison. The shooter that I think Black Box made. Actually, was it Black Box? It was... Oh, God, who made them?
It was somebody's box.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember who it was. They went on to make, like... that one really bad shooter body count. It wasn't Codemasters. Codemasters published it. I don't remember. Or was it Criterion? It's one or the other. But basically, that game had a very restrictive limit of firearms on it. But every single one of them sounded and felt amazing. It was only like, I think, 7 guns in the entire game. Probably a couple more than that. But every single one felt unique and viable. And, you know, I feel like that's similar with the Mokole gifts. Is like there's so fucking many, but I skipped a whole bunch of them because they're exactly the same as other Garrow gifts. Like, in rank 1 alone, Falling Touch as the Garrow gift. Fatal Flaw as the Shadow Lord gift. Find Inspiration as the Garrow Arun gift. Razor Claws, again, as the Garrow Arun gift. So there's a lot here, and a lot of it is the same as the Garrow gifts, because the Mokole taught the Garrow a lot of their gifts. But they kind of went overboard and know it. Well, actually, I wouldn't say overboard, because the Mokole are supposed to know all of this, given the Mnésis. Mm-hmm. But even still, it's just a lot.
They could learn every gift, actually, for the Mnésis.
Yes.
Yeah. So... Behold, do you want to talk about the chameleon comparison again? Yes, I suppose the Mokole could have access to just every damn power in the game.
It would be kind of cool to have a Mokole hiding out amongst a pack of Garrow. That would be kind of neat.
There we go. And it's not a Nuisha this time.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, I'd prefer a Mokole to a Nuisha, even though the Mokole hate the Garrow.
Let's see. Mixing splats! Let's wrap up the episode mixing splats.
Let's mix some splats. So we already talked about...
Vampire.
Vampires. Gangrel.
No. The Gangrel, given that they're in Africa, and are just trying to mind their own business in Africa. I don't think the Mokole would actually pursue them, but if they came across the Mokole,
There'd be a fight.
the Gengo would have to die.
Yes.
Yeah. After all, you're trying to outdo the other predators. You're too strong. You're going to throw off the ecosystem. We got to get you out of here.
Yes.
Next up, the other anti-nihilist with the Bruja, who try to find meaning in a meaningless world by just clinging to whatever idea they want to find. Behold, it's the vapid idea of nihilism versus the anti-nihilism of the Mokole.
Yes.
Where, yeah, I could see that being a fun
there's gotta
matchup.
be something. No, there isn't, but that's also the point.
The Malkavians.
That'd be interesting.
The two guys that know everything.
Yes, like the Malkavians see the past, present, and future all at the same time. The Mokole can see everything that came before them. And the Mokole can actually articulate the fuck's going on.
You have a story where you have a Malkavian that learns magic and breaks into the spirit sphere, and then tries to get access to the Mnésis.
That'd be pretty fucking crazy.
You gotta bring that guy to a screeching halt.
Yes. That'd be your main villain right there.
See, speaking of dragons, the Zimichi.
No. Fuck it.
No.
Kill it. No.
You don't want the Zimichi to get
is
their
a
hands on
dragon.
that. And then you can imagine the monstrosity that would arise if a Zimichi got their hands on a Mokole and vicissituted it.
That would
You
just
mean
be
like
Godzilla.
physically merged into it?
You would have stuff that looks like the centaurs in Fallout after they do that.
I
Or-
have a
I was
great
thinking
idea
like a
for
giant
anti-
superpowered vampiric dragon.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be so it'd be Grisha 2.0.
Exactly. That they grab the Mokole and then make the death claws out of them.
Yes.
We gotta play
And then you're-
Fallout.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
and you're so hopped up on Zimichi blood, you no longer know what's going on with you.
Yeah, that could be fucking devastating. Till the sun comes up.
Let's see. And who else did we bring up? The Ravnos. Well,
We did say that the
You go from-
Mokole fought alongside the Kuei-jin to stop the Ravnos.
and now it's the other way around, where history has vindicated the Ravnos, and now they're the good guy vampires in India. So now you should be giving the Ravnos of India all the support you can, given the Kuei-jin
Yes.
have turned sour, so to speak.
A little bit.
And who else? I'm also thinking of a weird matchup. The Mokole versus the Giovanni. And
The
this
people...
being from,
Good.
say the Giovanni find out about the innocent, grab one, drag it back to their mansions in New York, and then enslave it. That's going to be a big mess for the Mokole to clean up.
Yes.
Or you just go ahead, you stick your little demon baby on the Sabat and the Camarilla. The Mokole see it's one of theirs, and well, thank you for handing me your greatest weapon, Mokole. The Giovanni, will do whatever the hell I want with it.
Yeah. What's
This is
this?
gonna- see, there you go.
Oh, like
The
Chaos?
vicissitude monster.
What the fuck is this?
Yep.
It's from Xenosaga PS2.
I've never
There it
played that
is.
game, but it looks fucking
Oh,
nasty.
right.
That's
Yeah.
a mech, by the way, it's fusing with.
Oh,
Yeah.
good lord. That's scary looking.
Yeah. You threw me through a memory hole by bringing that game up.
Yep.
I never actually finished it because I was too dumb as a child when I started
It's
playing
because
it.
they did a very limited release on the third episode.
Oh no, I never even got to episode 2.
You want to play episode 3? That game costs $250 for a physical copy.
What?
Why?
Yep. Limited release. They did that on purpose.
Bullshit. That's
Yeah.
some grade A bullshit right there.
I
So, yeah,
hate
you want
that.
to finish the story, you gotta pay that much money for it now.
Fuck that.
Yep.
Just pirate it.
Let's see. Speaking of pirates, Yaktina. We've already discussed how awesome of a pirate game that's going to be.
Yes. I would be 100% down if that was our Rage Cross Africa game. Yar har fiddledy tee.
On top of that, I'm thinking something along the lines of Southern Bonars and them living in Florida. And behold, you got the Everglades. You got all the crocodiles waiting for you in the Everglades.
Oh my god.
So,
fucking Florida werewolves with fucking Florida Mokole. The world as we know it would not survive.
They encounter because the Mokole is in your backyard looking for your pet cat so he can eat it.
Yes.
And then then a big fight ensues.
I love the fucking video of just like a guy carrying a whole ass crocodile down the street.
Or the police getting in fights with them and having to get them in the little like reach.
Oh yeah,
reach
the
poles and drag
the
them-
fucking
drag them
leads.
across the street.
Yep.
Who else can we
I
think of?
remember I saw a headline of local man arrested for feeding alligators, claiming his name's Archie and he's a good boy.
And I think we have the obvious answer with the Silent Striders.
Just like we said with the fucking Korax and the Shadow Lords, where they squeezed them tight and went, "You and I are best friends."
Where you gotta love that the Silent Striders are one of the few genuinely good people in the world of darkness.
Again, why I like them so much. Look,
Exactly.
I don't make villain characters very well because like I myself don't like being mean. So like you'll notice that a lot of the characters that I play genuinely just try to be good people, except Tyler. Tyler's kind of an ass.
There is such a difference in the way we make player characters because you make unambiguously good people whenever you make a player character.
Because good.
And then I make a player character, and it's the most nominal, Byronic, pragmatic, bordering on villain kind of hero I can think of.
Your protagonists are the trope of hero and name only.
Yeah, I don't make good people when I make player characters.
Like Jan, for example, he was a war criminal and just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, that's just what I did, and now I'm here. Meanwhile, Colt fought in multiple wars and the IAA, and now he's just like, I've created so much death and destruction. All I wanted to be was there for my family.
And that started game reset, and now I'm playing as Ray Lupercal. Tiefling who is destined to eternity in hell when he dies, makes a pact with a Lich King in order to try to extend his lifespan. And then his entire arc is trying to find a way out of that deal and becoming his own patron by any means necessary to save himself.
See, that's just that's a unique story, but you came up with that.
I can see why Colt and Sylvester got along.
Because
Sylvester
Colt
was a family man.
The younger Sylvester.
Yeah, I mean,
Sylvester did bad things, but he was ultimately an okay guy.
Yeah. I mean, before he turned, he was a great guy.
Yep.
Yeah. He was the Zodiac killer.
But to most who knew him, an upstanding
Later
member
in
of
life,
society.
And
I do like
who
the
else?
relationship, though. It's very sweet.
The mages.
They brought
First
up...
of all, Akashic Brotherhood.
Yeah, what about them?
Akashic Brotherhood. They do the same thing. They archive all the world's history.
Yes.
So if your Mnésis ever gets fully corrupted by the Wyrm, fear not, for the Akashic record exists.
Yep, and
So we
you
have a
can make
backup.
a new Mnésis with blackjack and hookers.
You spend an entire lifetime reading everything in the Akashic record and then upload that back into the Mnésis.
Piece of cake.
And behold, this is why you save multiple copies of your documents.
Yes, data redundancy is a very important thing in big data. That is why RAID 1.0 exists.
Who's next? Celestial Chorus? I don't really see them getting along that well even though the Mokole know that there is the god with the big G god, I don't think they still go along with the sister chorus, given that Gaia and Luna, yeah, they're cool, but Helios is what they worship. That is the object of worship with the Mokole.
Quick, start playing My God is the Sun by Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, behold, they are Solaire from Dark Souls.
Yes.
And all the memes then too.
Anyway.
Cult of Ecstasy.
No.
Nope.
No monkeying
Nope,
with time. Fuck that.
Dream Speakers, yes.
Yeah, they brought them up by name in the book, if I recall. Hang on, let me double check.
Yeah, the Dream Speakers.
Yes, they did bring them up in the book.
Those might as well be your direct allies in Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Yeah, that and the Hemka Sobk a long time ago who worshipped Sobek.
Yeah, which is an offshoot of mages. Well, you don't have to worry about that right now.
Yes.
Dear Thanatos, the Adjustment Bureau.
Maybe, actually.
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I'm trying to think of why I'm saying yes.
Well, the thing is, they said when they were talking with the Rokea that, both of them's job it is to cull, dumb humans. That is the job of the Euthanatos. But the only major difference is perhaps the Euthanatos might take a little too much pride in their work, whereas the the Mokole are more reserved about what it is they do. Like, it's in their litany. Take no pride.
And after all, there's the chance that you might end up on the Adjustment Bureau's kill list.
Yes. I feel like if I was to play the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, I would have to be Euthanatos. Legalize nuclear bombs.
The Order of Hermes. No.
No.
Stop trying to fight the worm. It can't be done. Stop trying, Hermetics. It's not going to happen. All of your doctrine is based off of a man who went insane from staring directly into the sun and starving himself.
Yeah, no. That cake don't bake.
You have no wisdom. The Verbena. I don't know about this one. Given how nasty the Verbena can be.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
The Mokole are decent fera.
And then the Sons of Ether, virtual adepts, and every single technocrat, we can all put them in the same boat and throw them off to the side. No. They would not go along with that. And you posted why.
That does look kind of tight.
You posted why they would not get along with Iteration X.
Yes, no.
They try to weaponize the Mokole.
They do look kind of sick, though. Not gonna lie.
Exactly.
This is some fucking Wolfenstein the New Order shit right here.
If you disagree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Yep.
Bro, imagine using their memory of the past. So, what happens, and make sure you don't cause a time paradox when you time travel.
Oh, that is the last thing you want in the hands of the New World Order.
Oh my god, those who control the past control the future. If the fucking NWO got control of the goddamn Mokole, that should be over, man.
Yeah, it's over. It's like put the smoking Wojak in the chat. It's over.
It's so over if that were the case. Defend the Mokole for the New World Order at all fucking costs.
Save them from the communists.
Yes.
They've already started reading the Communist Manifesto. Stop them from reading the Conquest of Bread.
Yes, it's only a matter of time. That's an apocalypse scenario right there.
Then a Fondi, hell no. And the Marauders, are you kidding me?
No.
Let's see. The Legions. Talk about Wraith the Oblivion. Let's talk about all the different Legions.
They do have a hard time getting into the Umbra, so.
And Eden, you remember I was reading this book yesterday when we were in call.
What book would that be?
The Book of Legions with Wraith the Oblivion.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Emerald Legion, all they care about is money. I don't see them forming a relationship.
No.
The Grim Legion. I'm pretty sure the Grim Legion has had to clean up their innocence mess once or twice. So they probably know about the Grim Legion. I don't know how well they would have as a relationship, considering that the Grim Legion are a pack of psychos.
Yeah, probably not.
The Iron Legion, okay. I mean, they build the houses in the Shadowlands that save them from the Maelstrom. So yeah, you can form a relationship with those guys,
Yep.
or at least appreciate the work they do. Legion of Fate, too secretive. Skipping one. Legion of Paupers, still not seeing it. They already have all the answers to their investigation. I mean, Legion of the Paupers, why are you spending this much time trying to figure out how you died? Just go to Mokole and ask him for the Mnésis. That's it. That's it, you idiot. Don't even go to a science charter for that.
Yep.
Penitent Legion. Well, the Penitent Legion is also fighting the Spectre, so yeah, once again, they probably know about the Penitents because they had to fight an innocent at some point.
Yes.
Silent Legion, unless there's a suicidal Mokole, I don't see them talking with the Silent Legion.
No. I mean, we did say,
And-
well, we did say they had the, what was it called? We did say that they had the right that lets them remove, that remove bad memories to prevent Mokole from going insane or entering Hirano.
You got the spiritual lobotomy. You don't need to worry about the silence.
Yep.
And then the Skeletal Legion. Given how tight wadded the Skeletal Legion is, no.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, we are the Legion that has banned fun, and our master is the biggest snitch in the world. You gotta love these guys.
Yeah, a little bit.
And let's see here. Changing the Dreaming.
We already brought up the issue by name, but I
okay.
imagine. Go ahead.
What about puppeteers? Do you think any
Puppeteers?
of them would try to use
That's a house.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if there was a rate that had that would be something of interest.
Yeah. As for Changeling the Dreaming, I do believe that they already brought the issue up by name, but I'm sure there's like a puka lizard out there somewhere.
Given
they can
Egyptian
be-
history, absolutely.
Yeah, they can be any animal depending on where they're at. So puka is a choice as well. Although I don't think Mokole would take kindly to their pranks.
Yep. Same with the Boggans, same with the Knockers. They wouldn't really have anything to do with them.
Yep.
Same with the Satyrs, because the Mokole don't really care that much about sex.
No. Well, I mean, they do hold those that breed perfect Mokole in high regard, as we talked about with Kinfolk, but they don't make it their whole identity.
The Shi, well, the Mokole certainly didn't vote for them. So they wouldn't care about the Shi at all.
No.
So who else is next? The Redcaps.
Also, no.
Let's have a bite off.
Yeah, I feel like the fucking red cap fangs would hurt more, but I think the overwhelming strength of the Mokole would win in the end.
I'm imagining the scene from Glapperbaki where Jack and Pickle are biting each other's jaws, trying to break each other's teeth.
Yep.
You have a red cap do that with a Mokole.
Yeah, basically. Like, I feel like the red cap's teeth are a lot more brittle than a Mokole's because they're much longer.
If they're in the deep dreaming, that red cap will win that fight.
Yes, but IRL, no. I think that red cap would get in the death roll and that'd be it.
Yeah, you gotta just get his jaw ripped off in the fight.
It's like getting Arthur Morgan drunk in Red Dead 2 and having him go to fight an alligator. Like, just with a Arthur Morgan stumbling at an alligator with a knife, like, I choose you. Well, what happened to Arthur Morgan? I got a couple of good stabs and he got me in the neck roll and bit my face. He got me in the death roll and bit my face off. Thank you, Badger.
Let's see. Who else is? Who else? Who? Slua.
Maybe. like the Slua are kind of
Yeah,
reclusive, but they also like the macabre sort of things, and I feel like they would find the Mokole rather intriguing.
See, yes, this swamp is filled with gore. The exact kind of aesthetic I'm looking for.
Just like a Mokole just swims up to a fucking Slua just sitting there playing with the insects in the bog, and they're like, "Bro, what are you doing?" I'm admiring your
Collecting.
beautiful nature. I like this spider. Okay. Do you want me to tell you a story about? No, I'm good.
You got a cigarette?
Depending on where the Mokole is, they might actually have a cigarette.
And then the trolls, just for the image of a troll fighting a dragon.
Okay, no, that'd go hard. That'd be tight as hell.
There we go. Yeah, just find an excuse in your game to have these two fight.
Yes. Be it a fera game or a changeling game. Make it fucking happen. That'd be so tight.
And the imbued. What's your hunting?
I've eaten alligator once when I was in Florida. It was delicious.
You get to go through the Everglades with the holy warriors of God go hunting.
There was a Cajun bloke I met there who made alligator mac and cheese for us all. I had eaten that good in years.
Get to travel down the riverboat, polka music in the background.
Me and Darius were on the back of an airboat. I was singing some Creedence Clearwater Revival. This big fuck off thing came out and tried to eat us.
And then lastly, the all right.
I can never listen to Creedence again after that. It makes me sad.
Let's see, Luciferians, absolutely not.
Yeah, we've been
No.
over that.
Get behind me, Satan. We're waiting for the world to end to get away from you.
Yes. I feel
It's,
like Lucifer with the apocalypse is like that meme of the 4 different political alignments. Like, I can't wait for society to collapse so my ideology can rise from the ashes.
Exactly. the cryptics.
Actually, maybe.
I'm sure the cryptics would approach the Mokole in that case.
Yes.
Say, hey, what's been going on since I've been in hell? Can you catch me up on that?
Yeah, sit down, kid. We got a long fucking night ahead of us.
That would be a key plot point in that game to try to figure out, what happened immediately after the fall. What did God do after that? 'Cause
Well, I can tell you
that
got
would
him
put-
everything.
that would put a lot of answers in the cryptic.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. The Faustians. Nah,
They
there's
wouldn't
no deal
have
to be
anything
made.
the
Mokole
Mokole
don't
would
that
want.
much. The Mokole just want to get this shit over with, and that's it.
Yep, they're like, okay, Gaia
Um,
doesn't talk to us anymore, so we just got to keep what we know about her alive.
And no demon actually has power to bring back. As powerful as they are, they can't do that.
No, but they would have the charisma to lie to a Mokole about it.
See, try to dupe them into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a powerful earthbound like Kupala, try to do that. Who's next? The Ravagers, absolutely not, because nobody gets along with them.
No.
And then the Reconcilers. I think they would applaud the Reconcilers for trying, but they wouldn't really have anything to do with their mission.
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to redeem yourself, good on you. Go do that away from my bayou.
Sounds about right.
And there we go.
Yep. The Mokole. They are big reptiles of all shapes and sizes and have way too much potential for them to not be played.
Yeah, what do we think, fellas?
Play the goddamn Mokole.
Yeah, definitely something I would try.
Let's see. Grim is about to die.
What?
He is about to... I can hear it in his voice.
I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Hit
Bro's
the
had a
road,
long
Ryan.
I can't wait for the Glasswalkers to get their hands on that DNA and start putting their spirits inside Mokole bodies.
Behold.
God,
the
I hate
liquid.
the fucking Glasswalkers.
Or even set their cloning machines to recombinant, which just makes multiple varieties of the same person, or multiple different people.
And there you go.
Our webs grow tighter around us every day. Our hearts beat to the rhythm of the one song played by her drum. Soon there'll be
I
no
wouldn't
escape.
put it past the progenitors to do the same thing too.
Either way, they're going to
And there
wind
you
up
go.
either baned or droned.
And there you go. The Weaver always wins.
Now, fuck the Weaver. I will do whatever I
Yeah.
can to fuck her over.
The Weaver always wins. I'll put $5,000 down on the Weaver winning.
Negotiate terms with the Weaver before she decides to take you out.
I'm,
Make sure you
I'd,
have the right to procreate.
I'd sooner join the Dream Speakers and help them bring back God so he can just reset.
Before you can hit the big reset button and begin the events of Shin Megami Tensei 3.
And you know what? That'd be preferable to what the Weaver has in mind.
There we go. And there we have it.
Yes.
That's an episode for you.
Yes.
One thing really quick.
Yes.
You mentioned something about how the world would be with the gyro in charge instead of the Mokole.
Yes.
I would say it would probably just be a bunch of Krynos cuddling if Gaia won, simply because there would be no shelter except for
No, it's
big,
the furry
12-inch
game. No.
For
big,
Infinity
That's what
Dot
changing the
Net,
dreaming is for.
game. Well, yeah. That's why
You
the
love
Puka
Furry
exists.
Simulator, go play Changing the Dreaming.
Yes, go play as the Puka. Have an all Puka party and
Yeah.
see how the hell that works. And some satyrs too for fun.
Yeah, there we
Love
have
it.
it. All right.
Anyway,
Stop watching this episode. Go off
play
and
the
do something
lizards.
else.
They're fun, damn it.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
GN.
Good night, everyone.